Xiaolun woke up to a living nightmare, a mysterious egg hovering right before his eyes. He thought it was a hallucination from late-night gaming, but then he saw them eggs atop everyone's heads. While the crowd wore shells of pure white, Xiaolun's egg was an ominous, void-like black. A chilling countdown ticked on its surface. Was this a gift? Or a ticking time bomb? Later at school, his friend Li Yan invited him to a mysterious late-night gathering. Word was, their senior Yao Tian found a gargantuan egg and wanted to share its secrets. Sensing a link to his own dark orb, Xiaolun agreed. 7 p.m., West City Park. The host, Yao Tian, stood waiting the man who had orchestrated this eerie midnight meeting. Suddenly, Xiaolun realized the terrifying truth. Yao Tian was the only one without an egg. They stood before the Great Wall, a barrier that had caged humanity since the day of his birth. Legend said freedom lay beyond, but the group only cared about seeing the massive, legendary egg. Yao Tian grinned wickedly. Suddenly, a blood-red egg erupted violently from his very skull. Horror struck the entire group. The feast was a trap, and everyone scrambled to flee for their lives. Xiaolun turned to run, but spectral hands burst from Yao Tian, pinning him to the spot. The red egg mutated into a beast to devour him, but the main character's black egg was superior. It vanished into the shadows, weaving an illusion that left the red monster dazed and utterly confused. Then, razor-sharp wings sprouted from the black shell, gleaming with a lethal, otherworldly intent. With a single strike, the red egg shattered. Yao Tian's body collapsed, spirit and shell broken together. As Xiaolun caught his breath, a sinister seed emerged from the red egg's jagged remains. The seed hit the earth and a parasitic creature crawled out, seeking a fresh host to inhabit. It slithered into Yao Tian's corpse. Moments later, the dead body began to twitch with violent energy. To Xiaolun's utter disbelief, the fallen senior rose once more, defying the laws of death. The corpse stared back with eyes of pure malice. A primal chill raced down Xiaolun's spine. A disturbing new feature appeared on Yao Tian's chest, a literal keyhole carved into his very flesh. The black egg's countdown accelerated. Exhaustion hit Xiaolun. He just wanted this nightmare to end forever. The heavens turned pitch black as heavy clouds rolled in, signaling an impending, inevitable doom. Bathed in a crimson aura, Yao Tian sneered, "That black shell. You're a variant, aren't you?" Xiaolun stumbled back in fear. "Variant? Speak a language I can actually understand. You monster." Yao Tian's expression darkened as he tilted his head. "Listen closely. Puny, insignificant human. White eggs are mere cattle. Reds are the soldiers. But black eggs, you are the cursed variants." Caught between the monster and his own mystery, Xiaolun's mind began to fracture from the pressure. Soldiers? Variants? He never asked for this forbidden power or the darkness above his head. Yao Tian's grin turned feral. "Variants are usually captured, but I'd much rather hunt you down." Without warning, the monster lunged. The very air screamed as he closed the gap instantly. With godlike speed, Yao Tian was already there, claws poised to tear flesh from bone. He swung with lethal, crushing force. Xiaolun was too slow, trapped in the predator's sights. Blood sprayed as claws ripped through skin. Xiaolun fell, staring desperately at his dormant black egg. "Why won't you help me? Where did that invincible power from just moments ago go?" Yao Tian laughed, his voice dripping with scorn. "Did you really think that thing would save you?" Xiaolun looked up, the harsh reality of his own weakness finally sinking into his soul. Yao Tian bared his fangs. "Independent eggs can't harm humans directly, unless we become one." Driven by a bloodthirsty urge, Yao Tian prepared for the ultimate fusion of man and monster. Xiaolun rolled away just in time as claws shattered the ground, releasing a ghostly white mist. While the monster recovered, Xiaolun scrambled to his feet and ran blindly into the darkness. He refused to become a monster. He wouldn't sacrifice his humanity for that terrifying, cursed power. In a flash, Yao Tian blurs through the air, reappearing right behind his prey. He launches a devastating kick into Xiaolun's exposed back before the boy can react. The brutal force sends Xiaolun crashing face first into the dirt. Without letting up, Yao Tian leaps again, pinning Xiaolun down with his legs before he can struggle. The monster's skin begins to turn a sickly, demonic green. Yao Tian bared his fangs in a sadistic grin, his claws gleaming. "Time to crush your skull." Xiaolun, drenched in cold sweat, looks back in pure terror. Death was knocking. But just as the end seemed certain, a mysterious, shimmering vortex tore open between them. Yao Tian froze mid-slaughter, his entire body paralyzed. What is this? Why have my limbs turned to stone? Xiaolun stared in disbelief as his hunter's eyes went dull and lifeless, the predatory spark completely extinguished. Seizing his chance, Xiaolun shoves the monster aside and bolts. He doesn't stop to question why the vortex was retracting back into the black egg. Survival first, questions later. He tears through the skeletal trees of the wasteland, his heart hammering against his ribs. Xiaolun runs until his lungs burn, never once daring to look back. It's only after a long chase that he finally notices the eerie atmosphere around him. This is wrong. He had been running for over 30 minutes, yet he was still trapped in the radiation zone. Was he lost in this hell? High above, something shadows his every move from the branches. Below, Xiaolun's strength is fading fast, his body reaching its absolute limit. Hidden in the canopy, Nam and Amchi watch the boys' desperate struggle, their eyes gleaming with dark excitement. Master, that brat in black just stopped time for a combat egg. He must be the one carrying the world-ending egg. Nam's gaze remained fixed and cold. Do not be so quick to judge. We need to observe his hidden potential further. The forest falls into a deathly silence. Xiaolun finally breaks through the thicket and spots a dark cave entrance ahead. A hideout. He scrambles inside and collapses against the jagged stone, gasping for air as if his very soul was exhausted. His eyes fall upon the floating black egg once more, his mind racing with suspicion. Was it you? Did you save me back there? Suddenly, he notices the timer only a few minutes remain. Xiaolun's blood turns to ice. His jaw drops in sheer horror. Only 3 minutes? How could the countdown have accelerated so fast? There was supposed to be plenty of time left. The Reaper was coming much sooner than he expected. As the seconds bleed away, panic sets in. If this thing detonates like a bomb, this cave will become his tomb. He claws at the stone walls, trying to force his trembling legs to move. I have to get away. Is my mind failing me from the fear? His strength vanishes, leaving him slumped on the cold floor. But in the face of despair, a spark of grim resolve flickers in his eyes. Fine. If death wants me, let it come. He lowers his head as the final countdown hits the 20-second mark. Taking one last deep breath, Xiaolun stands tall and roars at his fate. To hell with this. Do your worst. He talks big, but his throat is dry. He gulps nervously, watching the numbers tick down. 4, 3, 2, 1. His eyes are glued to the black egg, waiting for the end. In a flash, the timer hits 0. Xiaolun covers his face, a final cry escaping his lips. I'm not ready to die yet. But there is no explosion. Instead, the egg's wings fold inward as arcs of black lightning surge forth. Xiaolun lowers his hands in awe. A pillar of dark light erupts toward the ceiling, and from the heart of the egg, a mysterious key begins to manifest. Xiaolun's mouth hangs open in shock. A key? All this for a single key? The egg hovers lower, drifting toward him. The key points directly at his chest. Xiaolun can't believe it is this legendary artifact choosing him as its master. With a trembling hand, he reaches out. A soft metallic click echoes as he pulls the key from its shell. The moment he takes it, the shifting numbers on the egg begin to spin wildly once more. Xiaolun watches, stunned as the timer resets to a full 24 hours. What is happening? The countdown. It started over? Suddenly, a haunting melody drifts from the cave entrance. Yao Tian approaches, his face a twisted mask of a smile, hiding a murderous rage. He hums a chilling tune, stalking toward the cave mouth like a demon sensing fresh blood. Watching from afar, Amchi whispers, "That combat egg is persistent. Master, should we intervene?" Nam's eyes narrow with cold calculation. Follow them, but do not let them sense our presence. The real show is about to begin. Inside the cave, the air grows heavy and suffocatingly still. Xiaolun is still lost in thought, unaware that his hunter has already cornered him in the darkness. A low, menacing chuckle vibrates through the stone. Xiaolun's heart stops, and he slowly turns to face the nightmare. Yao Tian steps into the light, slowly licking the fresh blood from his razor-sharp claws. Your scent. The smell of your fear is absolutely intoxicating. Qiuluan's heart sank in frustration. Was this bastard really hell-bent on ending him right here? Desperate, he looked at the black egg with pleading eyes. Help me. and I'll grant your every wish." But the black egg remained chillingly silent, showing no signs of movement at all. Suddenly, the egg spun violently in midair, its wingtip pointing directly at the key in Tu Luan's hand. Then, it shifted, pointing toward the void in Dieu Tien's chest. "Wait, what? Are you serious?" Dieu Tien laughed. "You're just a pathetic egg. Yet you dare challenge a fused warrior like me?" He slashed the air with his claws, dismissing the threat. Tu Luan stood there, completely frozen. He realized the egg's plan. "You want me to jam this key into that hole on his chest?" The egg nodded. Tu Luan gripped the key tight. "Fine. I understand." Dieu Tien's voice dripped with mockery. "Where did you get that oversized toy, you little rat? You honestly think that cheap piece of junk can actually harm me?" Ignoring the insults, Tu Luan locked onto the target and charged forward with everything he had. Dieu Tien sighed in boredom. As the key lunged, he sidestepped with effortless, chilling grace. With a brutal kick, he sent Tu Luan crashing into the jagged rocks nearby. Pain flared through his body. This monster's speed was insane, getting close seemed almost impossible. Dieu Tien approached, arms wide. How foolish to use such a slow weapon against a god. Tu Luan bit his lip, his eyes burning with a sudden, renewed fire of determination. He hasn't noticed the keyhole's significance yet. This is my only chance. Thinking fast, he quietly dropped the key to the ground, feigning total defeat. He stood up and roared. "This weapon is trash. I'll crush you with my fists, you pathetic weakling." Fury exploded in Dieu Tien's eyes. "Weakling?" He lunged, his hand clamping like a vice around Tu Luan's throat. "Who are you calling trash?" He snarled, his claws raking across Tu Luan's face. "Now!" Tu Luan screamed. "Black egg, stone him." Dieu Tien instinctively turned his head to look. Using that split second, Tu Luan drove the key straight into the hole in his chest. As Dieu Tien gasped, a blinding surge of blue energy erupted from the lock, shaking the very air. Tu Luan watched in awe as a blue teardrop of light fell, shattering the ground beneath them. An irresistible force took hold, pulling Tu Luan into a swirling vortex of shadow and light. He woke up in a nightmare realm of giant spheres. Where the hell am I? Right at that moment, Nam grabbed his arm, his voice a sharp whisper. "Shut up, you idiot. We need to hide, now." They dove behind a massive boulder, as Fan La's booming voice echoed through the space. "Tinos, did you hear something?" Fan La asked, his footsteps shaking the earth. Tinos nodded slowly. "Just a tiny noise. Probably just another insignificant insect." Tu Luan covered his mouth, trembling as the mountain-sized giants loomed over them. "This is insane." Once the giants vanished, Tu Luan finally exhaled. "What is this terrifying place? How did we end up in the middle of this monster city?" He looked down at the key. "It was you, wasn't it? You brought me here, didn't you, Black Egg?" The egg gave a silent nod. Tu Luan's face turned pale as he realized the gravity of the situation. "Good grief! Can't I just have one normal day without being dragged into a supernatural death trap?" Nam watched him with deep suspicion, his eyes narrowing at the boy's strange behavior. He wondered how a mere brat could perform a space jump into the world of giants. "I remember someone bringing me here once, but those memories are nothing but fragments. If my instincts are right, we are standing in the very heart of the giant's fortress." Tu Luan tried to speak, but Nam cut him off with a cold, commanding tone. "Save your breath. We move now, or we die here." Tu Luan could only nod in agreement. Agreement reached, the duo vanished from their hiding spot instantly. Nam led while Xiaolun followed, eyeing the mysterious spheres floating above. Countless black orbs pulsed with eerie blue light overhead, chilling Xiaolun. Suddenly, Nam signaled a halt as a nearby orb absorbed ambient energy. Xiaolun's eyes widened. "Is something coming out of there?" Nam stayed silent. The birthing orb was erupting with vile, dark slime. Crouching low, Xiaolun's curiosity burned despite the looming danger. A faceless, pale blue humanoid crawled out, leaving Xiaolun completely breathless. Nam stared in horror. Was this some kind of twisted hybrid? Giants ruled here now. Suddenly, a pair of massive eyes appeared behind. Tino stepped out, his voice a low growl. Two little pests playing. Razor-sharp claws slashed through the air, aimed straight for Xiaolun's heart. Nam shoved him down, launching himself forward like a release spring. Azure light surged through Nam's veins as he struck Tinos with fury. "Fend for yourself," Nam yelled as Xiaolun scrambled to his feet. "Got it, thanks," Xiaolun shouted. turning to escape the chaos. Self-loathing bit at his heart. He was weak, nothing but a pathetic coward. A sudden snap echoed. A projectile pierced Xiao Lun, spilling his blood. Xiao Lun collapsed as Fan La emerged from the shifting shadows. Consciousness faded. Xiao Lun felt himself sinking into a deep, dark abyss. Lights swirled. Is this the end? Is my pathetic life over? I haven't found my parents. I don't want to die unloved. Suddenly, a mysterious egg erupted from his chest with blinding force. Fan La froze. A cold dread washed over the villain's heart. That cursed egg. I can't move my own limbs anymore. Black energy flowed into Xiao Lun, turning his physical form into mist. He's gone? Fan La gasped as purple liquid pooled on the floor. Dark essence gathered, swirling together to reconstruct a brand new vessel. Within seconds, a godlike figure stood where the boy once was. The egg turned pure white, hovering over a new, silver-haired warrior, awakened and absolute. Xiao Lun's overwhelming aura forced Fan La to tremble. This presence, it's monstrous. I need to get out of here. Xiao Lun advanced as Nam struggled beneath Tinos's crushing, lethal grip. Sensing the danger, Xiao Lun pivoted, blitzing toward his fallen ally. He leaped high, raining down devastating blows upon Tinos's hideous face. Explosive power sent Tinos reeling, allowing Nam to finally break free. Xiao Lun delivered a thunderous kick before gracefully retreating into a stance. Moving like a blur, he struck again with a lethal flying kick. Tinos hit the dirt hard. Xiao Lun offered a hand to Nam. This power, Nam stammered. Feeling the terrifying pressure from Xiao Lun, Nam rose as Tinos roared, 3 glowing orbs appearing above his head. Blue lightning crackled, forming a triangular cage of pure, destructive energy. Nam's face went pale. It's a trap. Run for your lives. Tinos unleashed hell, but Xiao Lun blocked the blast with one hand. Impossible! Tinos screamed, his mind shattering from the boy's strength. Luen spins around, emitting garbled, strange noises. Nam and Am-Chi stand frozen in total confusion. Blocking the blast, the black egg translates, 1 strike each. No one gets left out. Nam is baffled. Luen struggles to speak, mentally screaming, Black egg, what's happening to my voice? The egg explains, battle mode active. Voice communications are restricted to maximize your combat focus. Muted? Seriously? Luen cries out. Behind them, Am-Chi tries to understand this bizarre combat trade-off. Nam's eyes widen in shock as the black egg suddenly shouts a sharp, urgent warning. Focus! Unleash your ultimate skill now. Luan centers himself as terrifying energy coils around his fingertips. Luan gasps inwardly. So this is the true power of a hidden warrior genius? It's miraculous. Ancient combat techniques are etching themselves directly into his very consciousness. Lightning arcs as he masters the flow. The egg cheers. Yes, this is the resonance power. Luen frowns. Wait, I thought this was the forbidden corruption energy? Suddenly, a massive shockwave erupts from his palm, completely overwhelming Tinos's desperate, frantic defense. With a final, agonizing groan, the beast Tinos collapses heavily into the dirt. Luen retracts the aura. Nam and Am-Chi stand paralyzed by his sudden, monstrous growth. They exchange looks of pure disbelief. The black egg begins reclaiming the borrowed divine essence. As the aura fades, Luan's voice returns. Finally, I can actually speak again. Luen senses his limit. Far off, the villain Fan La watches with eyes full of dark intent. 2 outcasts with eggs. Could those be the legendary ancient relic eggs of the ancestors? Fan La fixates on the artifacts. It's impossible. It simply cannot be real. He fumes. Even the Demon Lord couldn't wake them. How could these worms achieve this? A floating eye crackles with mana. Attention. The Great One has entered the Giant's Garden. All giant units, mobilize immediately. Prepare for the arrival of the Supreme Leader. Sensing the shift, the duo looks up. Fan La coldly activates a hidden signal button. Perfect. The Demon Lord returns. I'll offer these pests as a welcoming sacrifice. A high-pitched, soul-piercing alarm rings out, paralyzing Luen and Nam where they stand. Luen glares at Fan La. Is that an alarm, or are you signaling your comrades? Suddenly, the ground beneath them liquefies into a dark, swirling abyss of liquid shadow. A Titangent-class beast erupts from the earth. Luen stumbles back, his heart nearly stopping. Nam pales as more shadows stir. A literal army of giants begins to enclose them. You've got to be kidding, Luen gasps. Nam snaps. Don't just stand there. Move. We break through together, or we die. Nam roars, leaping into the fray. Luen watches in awe as Nam carves a bloody path through the giant horde. He's a monster. Does he even need my help to win this war? Shaking off the shock, Luen quickly follows, keeping pace with Nam's devastating assault. A razor-sharp claw swipes at him. Luen twists mid-air, dodging with impossible, fluid grace. He vaults over a spiked tail. Wait. Why does everything feel like it's in slow motion? It's a miracle. He's dancing through the killing zone like a seasoned warrior king. These monsters are slow. Nam glances back, stunned by the boy's sudden transformation. 𝒂𝒏𝒌 whispers in awe. Master, that boy, his combat movements are becoming legendary. No, Nam corrects. He isn't just fast. He's actually slowing down the enemy's attacks. That egg, it's the egg of destruction mentioned in the forbidden ancient scriptures. 𝒂𝒏𝒌's greed flares. Then we should strike now and take it for ourselves. Nam cuts him off with a chilling, silent glare. Not yet. This is the giant's realm. Stealing that power now is suicide. We wait for the moment. 𝒂𝒏𝒌 hisses. But master, that power is our only hope to save Lady Phi. Nam's hand swept out as a devastating aura erupted. Focus on the situation, Nam barked. 𝒂𝒏𝒌 trembled in fear, while Tu Luan dodged lethal claws. He grinned wildly. Look at this, Black Egg. These monsters are nothing to me. Don't get cocky, the egg snapped. That behemoth wakes up in 2 minutes. Tu Luan froze. What? Above him, the egg hissed. Don't you dare forget that silver key. He stopped cold. The key? Right, the silver key. The egg warned that returning home depended on it. Panic flared in his chest. I almost forgot. The silver key. He recalled it lying near the giant. Tu Luan was certain it fell right under the beast. Without a word, he bolted back. Nam watched, baffled by the boy's sudden and reckless move. The battlefield felt eerily still. Tu Luan wove through monsters, reaching the silver glimmer at last. High above, Fanla's massive eyes scanned the ground like a predator seeking its prey. Hurry up! The egg screamed. Tu Luan lunged, his fingers finally grazing the cold metal. A massive shadow loomed over him. Too late. He's trying to snatch it first, the egg wailed. A thunderous roar erupted as Fanla's fist pulverized the earth. But the boy had vanished. The giant's body seized up. Curse it! He roared in his mind, paralyzed by a mysterious force. As the dust settled, the black egg emerged in the distance, carrying Tu Luan to safety. Gasping for air, Tu Luan clutched the key tight. I really thought I was a dead man. Thanks for the save, buddy. The egg hummed, gently setting him down on the trembling ground. Suddenly, the egg went cold and limp. It fell from the sky, but Tu Luan caught it. He held the key between his teeth, frantically checking his silent companion. Hey, talk to me. Silence. No matter how much he called, the black egg remained as still as stone. Fanla's limbs thawed. So, that trinket was what froze me, he growled, voice like thunder. His eye blazed with murderous intent. Without that help, you're nothing but a corpse. Tu Luan hugged the egg and sprinted. I won't let him touch you, I swear. But the gap was too great. Fanla's massive hand closed around him, lifting him like a doll. Found you, little worm, he sneered. Just then, Tinos came racing toward them through the ruins. Tinos, you're alive, Fanla cheered. But the beast didn't stop, it launched itself into the air. In a flash, Tinos snatched Tu Luan right out of Fanla's hand and bolted away. Wait, Tinos, what are you doing? Fanla screamed, frozen in shock as his pet betrayed him. Tu Luan was stunned. Is it helping me? Did my power actually work? Could my energy corruption skill truly dominate a beast of this level? He wondered, heart racing. Tinos sprinted with Tu Luan in his maw. Suddenly, Nam appeared ahead, blocking the path. Don't attack! He's on our side, Tu Luan yelled. Nam and 𝒂𝒏𝒌 stared in disbelief. Fine, I trust you, Nam shouted, leaping high and landing gracefully on the beast's broad back. The beast charged ahead. Behind them, Fanla's furious screams echoed until his voice finally cracked. Fanla's eyes narrowed in realization. That egg. It's controlling Tinos like a puppet. If I seize that power, I can reclaim the giant shell and earn the Lord's favor. The scene shifts as Tino's thunders across the desolate landscape, carrying the unlikely allies. "I'm 𝒂𝒏𝒌 Luan," he said, not looking back. "And you? Are you a survivor here?" "I'm 𝒂𝒏𝒌. We ended up here, after a spatial jump went wrong during my investigation." 𝒂𝒏𝒌 Luan's eyes widened. The realization hit him like a physical blow to the chest. A spatial jump? Was that the Black Egg's hidden power? Suddenly, 𝒂𝒏𝒌 leaned in close. "There is no doubt," 𝒂𝒏𝒌 whispered. 𝒂𝒏𝒌 Luan stared at the silver key, his heart thumping. "So this key is our ticket home?" Suddenly, Nam's voice exploded in a desperate, warning scream. 𝒂𝒏𝒌 Luan spun around in shock, but the danger ahead was already closing in fast. A whip lashes out from the Black Egg. 𝒂𝒏𝒌 is paralyzed. Nam dives in to intervene. He shields him with his own body. Luan shouts in relief. "Black Egg, you're finally awake?" Nam steps back, his voice cold. "𝒂𝒏𝒌, your recklessness will be your end." The beast trembles in fear. "Forgive me, master. I was weak." Suddenly, Luan stops dead. A massive wall looms before them. A dead end. The group investigates. Luan touches the cold surface. It's a solid barrier. Could they actually be outside the Great Wall now? Is their home just beyond this stone? The Black Egg starts shaking violently. "Egg, talk to me. Are you hurt?" The entity responds instantly. "Emergency shields are up, but my energy is drained. I'm powerless." Luan gasps. "Defense? Did that 𝒂𝒏𝒌 egg just try to kill you?" "My survival instincts flared." The egg replies grimly. "In this world, trust is a fatal poison." Luan nods solemnly. He knows that pain. Bitter memories of a hollow childhood resurface. "You're imposters. You aren't my parents. Get out." Their demonic laughter still haunts him. Nam notices Luan's shaking gaze and interrupts. "Focus, kid. Tell me exactly what you're sensing right now." Luan blinks back to reality. "Right. Let's analyze our situation." Flam speaks first. "The Red Soldier key brought them to this spot. The Red Soldier was a mere catalyst for this gateway." Luan's fist clenches. "A catalyst?" Nam confirms. "His absence is the ultimate proof." Luan stares at the key. This tiny object holds a terrifying destiny. He turns to the egg. "Tell me the truth. Where are we? Is this truly the world beyond the barrier?" The egg twitches. It drops to the ground, sketching lines in the dirt. Flam watches intently. The drawing is finished. "Behold our location," the egg declares. An egg-shaped map. Luan's mind spirals into deeper confusion. "I don't get it. Are we in another egg world?" The reality is chilling. "We aren't outside," Nam mutters. "We're deeper inside." Luan's jaw drops. Nam can only stare back in silence. "Exactly. Look at the coordinates. We never left the internal zone. Impossible. Our entire world was just this tiny speck? How?" The egg points to the map. "Here is us." Luan collapses. Then what is this massive, dark territory? The unrevealed zone. Most of this world remains shrouded in mystery. A vast, unknown abyss lies right beneath their feet. Their civilization is nothing but a footnote in this massive shell. "It's the fifth vision," the egg explains. "A mental construct." Nam realizes the truth. It's a grand illusion projected by the wall. Luan is lost. The wall. What is it really? "Eyes can deceive you," Nam warns. Luan stands, desperate for answers. "The wall is alive," Nam whispers. "It has its own consciousness. A living nightmare. They are trapped inside a colossal sentient creature." "Ask the egg," Nam suggests. But the entity only sighs. "My memory is a void. I only exist since our meeting." Xiao Luan pressed for answers. "You're the one mapping this world. Tell us what you know." Black Egg faltered, struggling to clarify. "I detected a spatial singularity," Black Egg revealed. Xiao Luan froze, his mind reeling. "A singularity? What is that?" Nam cut in, his voice sharp. "A place where space and time distort, right?" Black Egg nodded, pointing at the map. "Listen closely. We've already survived 2 of these spatial anomalies." Black Egg explained to the weary group. "They acted as bridges, dragging us across dimensions." Xiao Luan stared, completely lost in the complex explanation. "Then we just go back the same way?" But Black Egg crushed his hope. "Impossible. They vanished after our arrival." Xiao Luan's voice trembled with fear. "Then how do we return?" Black Egg didn't hesitate with his answer. The key holds our origin coordinates. We just need the synchronization portal to tear a path back home. The gears in Xiao Luan's head turned as memories of yesterday's chaos resurfaced. Is the portal like the mark on those soldiers? Black Egg confirmed. Precisely. It's the anchor for our synchronization. Xiao Luan's eyes widened with a sudden realization. Wait, is the portal right where we landed? Black Egg's voice dropped, filled with a sense of dread. It should have been there, but an unknown, invisible power interfered with the singularity. Xiao Luan gasped. A power beyond our own? Ascending into the air, Black Egg warned. I fear this dark energy is diverting us somewhere far more dangerous. I saved the coordinates, but the portal itself was stolen. Nam's brow furrowed in sheer disbelief at the news. Could those wretched ghosts be behind this? If so, they were in trouble. Xiao Luan leaned in, desperate. Where did they take the portal? Black Egg pointed toward a barren wasteland. Xiao Luan's confusion only deepened. Suddenly, Nam stepped forward, pointing at a mysterious orb. Black Egg. What is this spherical anomaly? It manifested when the zone shifted, Black Egg confessed. Even my knowledge has its limits here. A sphere? Xiao Luan squinted, seeing only a perfect circle. But a sharp idea flashed in Nam's eyes. Hold on. If they appeared together, could it be hidden within the realm of giants? Black Egg let out a sharp hiss. It's already here, waiting to be found. The revelation hit Nam like a blow. Xiao Luan's expression shifted, mirroring the growing dread. He's too calm. I suspect this isn't his first time here. Black Egg hissed. I'll force the truth out. Stop, Xiao Luan hissed. If he's hiding something, pressure won't work. We need to be smarter than that. He's a walking library of secrets. If we lose the key, he's our only path to survival. Listen well. We stay glued to them. Do not let them out of your sight for a second. Black Egg complied. Meanwhile, Nam and Amchi shared a silent, heavy glance of mutual suspicion. Master, were we too obvious? Amchi whispered. We should stop digging into their secrets for now. Xiao Luan turned with a sudden, friendly smile that sent an unexpected chill down their spines. Xiao Luan turned back to his companion. Can we pinpoint exactly where they took the portal? We'll use the key's vision-sharing ability, Black Egg declared. Xiao Luan tilted his head, completely baffled. Share my vision. Through this piece of metal? Xiao Luan asked, gripping the key with uncertainty. Black Egg's gaze was firm as he gave a definitive nod of confirmation. The key and the portal are two halves of one soul. I'll show you. Tell me how. Without another word, the companion reached out. Hand me the key. Now. He leveled the key's tip at Xiao Luan. Don't resist. Close your eyes and let the power flow. As Xiao Luan's eyes shut, a surge of raw energy spiraled out from the key's ancient core. The energy hummed against his eyelids. It is done, Black Egg whispered. Now, open your eyes. Xiao Luan opened his eyes and gasped at the sight. A massive vortex swirled before him. Beneath a shimmering dome lay a sprawling, ancient city of stone. Struggling to adjust, Xiao Luan looked down. Wait, these aren't my hands. They're bound in chains. The portal. It's attached to a living person? Is this perspective from a prisoner in transit? He looked up at the figure leading the way. A woman, radiating an aura of absolute noble authority. Suddenly, she glanced back. With a flick of her wrist, a blinding light shattered his borrowed vision. His vision narrowed sharply before plunging into an abyss of absolute darkness. Qiu Luan gasped, eyes wide. Had that woman truly detected his presence? The Black Egg tilted its head. Hey, kid, what's with that look? He frantically explained the crumbling portal and the mysterious girl who saw him. Vision sharing alters the pupils, the egg explained. You left a trace. Flam frowned. If she could sense him, what else did he witness? Qiu Luan knelt, frantically sketching a map into the dirt. He drew a city trapped beneath a transparent, shimmering dome. A woman screamed, he whispered. Her hands were bound by heavy chains. A prisoner? Nam mused. Or perhaps something more valuable? Tell me more. Qiu Luan continued, his voice trembling with every new detail. A young woman in white stood between two giants inside a dark cave. He pointed to two shadowy figures lurking near the domed city. Flam pressed for more. Did you see their faces? Their gear? They were massive, Qiu Luan replied, looking up. Towering over her, hooded giants. Then, the Black Egg suddenly raised the glowing key. Kid, I forgot. This countdown represents the key's remaining life. Luan blinked in confusion. Lifespan? What does that mean? When it hits 0, it vanishes. The gravity of the situation hit him. Silence, Nam hissed, signaling toward the shadows. We have company. A dark figure emerged from the rocks. We need to leave. Now, but it was too late. A silhouette manifested directly behind Luan. Behind you, Nam screamed. Luan felt Manito's icy grip tighten. In a flash, she slammed him violently into the cold earth. He gritted his teeth, struggling against the vines constricting his waist. Even the black egg was powerless against her overwhelming, suffocating strength. Let go! A heavy, ominous footstep echoed from within the crevice. D stepped out from the shadows, radiating the aura of a predator. With effortless grace, he seized the black egg and Luan. Lend me this ancient relic, and I'll reveal the city's location. Luan froze. How did this man know its true name? Nam glared. How long have you been stalking us, Day? Since your little game of hide and seek, Mino replied with a smirk. Nam's heart sank. They had been watched from the very beginning. Day's patience snapped. I'm tired of waiting. Give me your answer. You take hostages and call it a request? Nam spat back. I don't need your permission, Menno sneered. Her voice dripping with malice. De let out a cold, arrogant laugh. The negotiation was over. Then die. I'll start by slaughtering the man in the mask. Before Luan could react, Day lunged with godlike, blinding speed. A devastating strike was unleashed, yet it passed right through Flam. Flam stood frozen. Was it an illusion? Day had phased through him. Using his momentum, D pivoted, launching a relentless barrage from the shadows. What is this power? Flam gasped. He's like a ghost. Then, a physical blow landed. This was no phantom. It was death. A barrage of strikes rains down, leaving him no room to breathe. Damn it, these are physical manifestations. Is he using phantoms as a feint to mask his true form? Fine. I see your little game. Now, prepare for my counterattack. Suddenly, a dark shadow looms behind him. Terror seizes his heart as a figure emerges from the void. It was the Emperor's clone, sneering with malicious intent. Tell me, are you truly that afraid of your own unmasked face? His eyes widened in sheer horror. Nam scrambled back, desperately trying to escape the monster's suffocating presence. You dare peer into my soul, you bastard. The Emperor retreated, his mocking laughter echoing like a death knell. I have never seen someone so terrified of their own reflection. How pathetic. He had struck a sensitive nerve. Rage blazed in Nam's eyes as he snapped. Driven by fury, both warriors plunged back into the violent fray. Watching from the sidelines, Manito marveled at the air-compressed explosions. Luan's warning scream pierced the chaos. Watch your six. He never left your side. The predator has been lurking right next to you this whole time. Nam froze in his tracks. Luan turned to the Emperor, shouting, Stop! You are only fighting a ghost. The enemy scoffed. If this is a mere illusion, then why do my fists feel so devastatingly real? Shock surged through him. Could he be manifesting real bodies and phantoms at the exact same time? Manito's lips curled into a sinister smirk. Your eyes are failing you. This has been a one-on-one duel from the start. A single puppet is enough to crush you. Luan gasped as the Emperor bragged about his overwhelming power. My essence can flow between my true self and my clones at will, partially or entirely. I am everywhere. Why reveal your trump card so easily? She barked. Luan stood there, completely stunned by the revelation. Shifting his physical form between manifestations. That explains how the line between reality and illusion vanished. But why share this secret? Consider it a gesture of my sincerity, he replied. Luan narrowed his eyes. This move proved one thing: the Emperor was desperate for the Black Egg's legendary assistance. In a flash, the Emperor rejoined the hunt. He captured Nam, leaving the poor boy battered and broken. The Emperor turned his icy gaze toward Luan. Is this weakling truly your comrade in arms? From what I have observed, his heart harbors a different path than yours. Doubt began to fester within. We aren't exactly allies, just strangers bound by fate. I have no idea what his true motives are. Luan glanced at the fallen warrior. I am only using him to find an exit. My heart is hardly pure. We are both playing a game of mutual exploitation. Why bother caring about the details, right? The black egg pulsed with life. My existence is bound to yours. We survive together, or we fall together. Moved by its loyalty, Tuluan decided to gamble. Emperor, let us negotiate our terms like serious men. Having reached his goal, the Emperor barked a command. Manito, release the boy, this instant. Do it now. Though she fumed with rage, Manito obeyed. The Emperor leaned in, hungry for Tuluan's proposal. Tuluan demanded Nam's freedom first. The Emperor chuckled darkly. A simple request. Granted. Tuluan stood firm. One more thing. You will personally escort us to the city. Those are my terms. Silence fell as the Emperor processed the demand. Behind him, Manito erupted in pure, unadulterated fury. You dare demand an imperial escort? She screamed. Tuluan fired back. This is a negotiation, isn't it? What did you think a bargain was? His boldness made the Emperor roar with laughter. You have guts, kid. The black egg trembled in a state of panic. What if he refuses? What if we die right here? Tuluan whispered words of comfort. He is strong. His mere presence will act as our ultimate shield. He needs us. As long as we don't falter, he will agree. We must stand our ground until the end. Without a word, the Emperor closed the distance, his eyes searching deep into Tuluan's very soul. Are you so certain that I will bow to your demands, little human? Tuluan's gaze remained unbreakable. Impressed by such resolve, the Emperor finally smirked. Fine, I accept. For now. But first, let us see if this egg is truly useful. Cold sweat drenched the creature. What do you want? The Emperor's voice turned chilling. Simple. You will help me seize control of the giant's corpse. The giant's corpse? What kind of monster is that? Nam's heart skipped a beat in pure terror. He tossed the egg back like a toy. Tuluan caught his friend, desperately searching for a way to break its chains. Day replied coldly, just a standard safety precaution. Move out. A cry echoed nearby. Luan turned to Nam, worried. Dongnam, are you holding up? He steadied himself instantly. I'm fine. Don't touch me. Fen retracted his hand, sensing the icy tension. Luan whispered a warning. I promised to help him. We must maintain this fragile peace. But Nam's blood boiled with murderous intent. Coexisting with that arrogant noble felt like a living nightmare. Luan sighed helplessly. His friend's rage was a ticking time bomb. Better to stay silent for now. As De led the way, Luan asked, wouldn't riding that massive beast be much faster? But he refused bluntly. Useless trash. Luan stood frozen, glancing between the cold leader and the monster. Fine. Black Egg, how long can we still control this titan? Less than 30 minutes. Hearing this, Tino suddenly roared and lunged upward, acting on its own hidden will. It tore through the rocks, sprinting away to draw the enemy's attention elsewhere. De smirked, impressed. The brat has some brains. The group quickly slipped into the inner sanctum. Luan broke the silence. Manito, were those faceless merfolk actually your fallen comrades? Were they once human? She growled in fury. Yes. We arrived too late to save them. Fan La used them as bait to lure Day out. That bastard's cruelty knows no bounds. Even Dezay's face paled with rage. That one-eyed freak. I'll personally slice him in half. This wasn't just a mission, it was a rescue. Suddenly, a hidden switch appeared on the cliffside. Day slammed the button, and a heavy, secret stone door groaned open before them. Luan peered into the abyss. An underground tunnel? But there aren't any stairs. Suddenly, Dee's hand gripped Luan's neck. With a brutal kick, he sent the boy plummeting into the darkness. Black Egg shrieked in terror as Luan vanished. Luan. No. Luan fell into the bottomless void. Without hesitation, the spirit dove after him while demurely smirked. Then, the leader leaped in himself. From the shadows, Manito's group finally emerged, watching the descent. Dongnam stared at her. Manito shrugged. Don't look at me. Do it yourself. Take this. She handed him a strange cocoon. Nam took it with deep suspicion. What is this thing? Attach it to your neck, she advised. It's the only way to survive the fall. Nam hesitated at the portal's edge. Manito stepped forward, her gaze sharp and commanding. I'll hold the rear. Now, jump. Meanwhile, Luan was in a terrifying freefall. An intense itch burned his neck. Reaching back, his fingers brushed against a cold, hard cocoon. Suddenly, Day caught up, snatching the struggling Black Egg. Luan gasped. Wings? De mocked his shock. Don't be an idiot. Use your mind to manifest those wings. Luan gripped the cocoon, fuming. You're the idiot. You kick me down and then expect me to fly? The noble didn't bother arguing. He sped away into the gloom. Good luck, peasant. Wait for me, Luan yelled as Black Egg's cries echoed in the abyss. That arrogant bastard, Luan cursed through gritted teeth. From afar, the spirit's voice echoed. Spread your wings now. Luan focused his desperate intent on the nape of his neck. Come on, work for me. The ground rushed up. I'm actually going to die. Eyes shut tight, sweat pouring down, he screamed for the wings to awaken. The spirit struggled in vain. Suddenly, the cocoon shattered, erupting with a surge of ominous dark energy. Just before impact, the shadows split into two massive arcs, catching him in a violent embrace. The earth cracked beneath the pressure as he ascended. Wings of pure energy unfurled, stared in absolute disbelief. He initially scoffed at the fragile appearance. Just a common flight tool with no real power. But his eyes widened at the shattered terrain below. What's with those massive craters? Could this brat's power be evolving? Luan stared at his wings, heart racing with exhilaration. I'm flying. This is incredible. De smirked, sensing a monster awakening. Interesting. Truly interesting. Dongnam's voice boomed from above. Xiao Luan, stay alert. That man plays dirty. Be careful. Luan looked up as his wings finally unfurled in the nick of time. The Black Egg lunged forward. He smirked. Playing mind games? Two of a kind, truly. Weren't you also testing his hidden potential? Or was Tinus so weak he fell instantly? 𝒂𝒏𝒌's aura flared in protest. Silence, 𝒂𝒏𝒌, the master snapped. His kind will never understand us. Day stood tall, unfazed. A defeated dog has no right to speak to me. He hissed, fight me again. But Day simply turned away, cold and indifferent. Stop it, Dongnam barked. Xiao Luan sighed at their petty bickering. Master, what's wrong? 𝒂𝒏𝒌 whispered. You aren't acting like yourself. Dongnam sighed. That man, he saw right through my soul. It's frustrating. A worried gaze met his. Don't worry, Dongnam muttered. I'll keep my cool. They reached the prismatic mountains. Where on earth are we? Luan asked. The scenery shifted. The Black Tree Abyss, a ruin of the ancient eggs. Luan gasped as memories surfaced. The abyss, the ancient artifacts. Why call it that? De glanced back, his voice low. Centuries ago, everyone possessed a companion egg, just like you do now. But a calamity from the Forbidden Zone wiped them all out. Now, only death remains. Xiao Luan shivered. The Forbidden Zone. So, are the eggs completely extinct in this era? Day nodded. Only the Titan's husk remains as an ancient relic. The Titan's husk? Luan shouted. You want the Black Egg to control it? What are you really planning? Dee's eyes hardened. I need its power to find the toxic blossom. The antidote for the giant's curse. A voice interrupted impatiently. With it, Dee's arm and his mother Manito. Shut your mouth. Luan realized the truth. Their bodies were being consumed by giantification. He stared at Dee's massive glove. The corruption was already spreading. Day's arm was tiny compared to a giant, yet it was rotting away. Luan felt a pang of pity. The price of survival was high, dissensed his gaze. His voice boomed with cold authority. Listen, Xiao Luan. Just help me find that flower. Nothing else matters. Day, did you know this world was shaped like an egg? He moved forward steadily. Yes, my mother told me long ago. She called it ovum life, the origin of this egg-shaped world. What else did she say? Day shook his head, ending the conversation. 𝒂𝒏𝒌 sent a telepathic message. Master, is that the center zone? Dongnam frowned. Likely. The Raven clan has been hunting it, but they found nothing. That place is a cursed black hole. The mountains grew darker. The Black Egg's map shows it too. If the Ravens find out, Luan will become their next prey. Day, we only have 21 hours left. We must hurry. Dee gave a reassuring look. Relax. I know the fastest path. I won't let you waste another second. He took flight instantly. Look down. Dongnam gasped as the ground vanished below. Beside him, the boy marveled as his wings retracted instantly. A sentient command? This power was truly top tier. Scanning the area, something unsettling caught his eye. What are these strange, pulsating masses lining the walls? Noticing his gaze, she smirked coldly. These are protective cocoons. If the Emperor and I weren't here, you'd be nothing but monster fodder by now. Little Luen remained silent, his heart racing in shock. So, these Pod's house man-eating horrors? He froze as a cocoon twitched. The nightmare was breathing right beside him. They ventured deeper into the abyss until the Emperor suddenly halted, his presence heavy with authority. They had arrived. Before them lay a colossal egg, bound by 5 massive, ancient iron chains. Is this the giant's shell? It dwarfed their own black egg. The Emperor merely shook his head, hand glowing. With one strike, the shell shattered to reveal a dark blue core. Silence fell as the true horror emerged. Look closely, brat. Behold its true form. Their eyes were locked onto the terrifying entity within. Little Luan whispered to his companion. It's nearly as big as you, black egg, but that blue aura feels absolutely lethal. To think it grew this many layers in just one day. His eyes widened. How does it trigger the giant mutation? The woman stepped forward, poking the massive shell. Right here. Manito gestured toward the group, her voice filled with dark revelation. The 3rd layer triggers the mutation. Did you see that massive orb floating above the breeding grounds? Realization hit him like a lightning bolt. I see. They use this shell to fuel that orb. Exactly. She nodded darkly. This is the weapon they use to plunge our world into this living hell. Doubts swirled in the boy's mind. Meanwhile, the Emperor stepped forward with a cold, focused rage. With a gloved hand, he violently wrenched the giant out, snapping the chains. His gaze was sharp enough to kill. This relic is a curse upon existence. Sensing the killing intent, the creature finally spoke. Stop it, you brat. You're hurting your superior. The giant's voice echoed with arrogant indignation. Superior? Don't make me laugh. The Emperor spat in disgust. You dare talk back to me? He thrust the creature toward the black egg. Restrain it now. But the giant let out a mocking sneer. How pathetic. Don't you realize what's happening? You're all walking into a death trap. Ignorant fools. The air is thick with a fatal miasma. Without my protection, you'd be dead already. Little Luen caught the keyword instantly. Fatal miasma? Explain yourself right now. The Emperor answered instead. It's the plague from the Forbidden Zone I warned you about. The woman added. This miasma is a death sentence for most eggs, acting like a soul-devouring poison. Once it adapts to the environment, it evolves into microscopic killers that multiply endlessly in the air. It leads to a mass extinction of all eggs. Little Luen panicked. What? Black egg. Are you okay? Do you feel any pain? The companion shook its head calmly. No. In fact, I've never felt more comfortable. The group stared in disbelief as they communicated. Did I say something wrong? Forget them. As long as you're safe, that's all that matters. Dongnam, what about your shadow branch? He checked his companion and shook his head. It's fine. Perhaps it's a difference in origins. He hid the truth from Luen. He knew the reality was grimmer. Shadow Branch had nearly perished from the toxins earlier. It stayed silent, hiding its struggle. Both men looked at the black egg. How could it thrive in such a lethal atmosphere? Could it also originate from the central zone? Dongnam's eyes narrowed, sensing a deeper secret. If it's immune to the Forbidden Zone's plague, the mysteries surrounding this boy are endless. The woman's voice cut through the tension, breaking his train of thought. I'm curious. Does everyone in your world truly possess their own egg? He nodded. Yes, everyone. Enough talk, the Emperor barked. Stop wasting time and control that giant shell immediately. But Black Egg hesitated, signaling for a moment of rest. The previous battle form drained too much energy. Activating the resonance stones will take some time. The Emperor's patience was wearing thin. How much longer? Give me a specific time. The Black Egg hesitated, then spoke. This nectar is healing me. Give me 15 minutes. Quit lying, the giant roared in Emperor's grip. Nectar can't sustain a creature like you. I speak only truth, the egg whispered. But the giant's fury blazed. You're a filthy liar. Sudden news arrived. His mother had awakened. Emperor's eyes widened. Is it true? Is she back? With a nod of confirmation, Emperor tossed the giant aside. Lock him in the shell, now. As Emperor rushed off, Xiaolun turned to the others. The time has come. Follow him. Their path led deep into the heart of a shadowed cavern. This maze is treacherous, Xiaolun muttered. One wrong turn, and we're lost forever. Where do these tunnels lead? Suddenly, The atmosphere shifted. Xiaolun sensed something ahead and quickened his pace, the group close behind. The Black Tree Pit, he recalled. This ancient relic trembled as the final gate groaned open. They had reached the core. Xiaolun froze, his eyes locked onto mysterious carvings etched into the stone. He leaned closer. Is that an egg held in the hands of this ancient figure? Tiny dots lined the egg's surface. Are those people? This is eerie. He and the egg stood paralyzed. Could this be a blueprint? A miniature map of our entire egg-shaped world? His blood ran cold. If those dots represent us, then we're just prisoners inside a shell. Behind him, Dongnam and Amchi communicated through secret telepathic whispers, their voices grim. Master, the legend says finding the Zero Demon Crow reveals the exit of the Egg of Life. Look at the mural. Could this carving show the path to our true salvation? Dongnam stared at the dark specks. This site is for worship. The secrets of the egg are here. If the exit were that simple, someone would have escaped ages ago. Amchi sighed in frustration. Forget escaping. I must find a way to break that monster's control over you, Master. Silence fell. Master, absorb the black egg's essence now. Without its power, I cannot protect you anymore. Dongnam shook his head. Your concern touches me, but I can endure this burden. He twisted your soul and forced us to hunt the world-destroying egg for his gain. But I sense a darker purpose lurking behind his demands. This isn't just about power. He's using us as pawns to get close to Xiaolun and that mysterious egg. His true goal? To breach the walls and escape this cursed, egg-shaped reality forever. Suddenly, Xiaolun halted. Their secret conversation was cut short by a new discovery. Emperor swept aside the curtain, his face glowing with a joy he could no longer hide. His mother, Tuyen, lay there pale and fragile. Despite her swollen legs, she offered a weak smile. Mother! Emperor rushed to her side. You're finally awake. Do you know how long I've waited? Tuyen nodded weakly. The girl told me. I've been lost in sleep for over 2 weeks. Kneeling by her bed, he asked, Are you in pain? Your legs. She smiled softly. I'm fine now. Hope flared in Emperor's heart. No more suffering, Mother. I promise your agony ends here today. I will find the poison tree's bloom to cure you. Confusion clouded Tuyen's weary eyes. What? Her gaze shifted to the strangers standing in the shadows. And who are these young travelers? Xiaolun stepped forward with a warm smile. But Tuyen trembled, her voice catching in her throat. Mother, don't be afraid, Emperor said, reaching out to present the mysterious black egg to her. This artifact is our salvation. It will guide us to the cure you so desperately need. Tuyen gasped in horror as the egg spoke. Suddenly, a haunting memory of her late husband surfaced. I've chosen his name, her husband had whispered. He shall be called Emperor, my strong son. Will you survive after the ritual? She had sobbed. Asuyen's breath grew shallow and cold. Beware the pitch-black egg, he warned. Its arrival signals your final hour. You must run. With his last breath, he was gone. Tuyen screamed, Don't leave me. My life means nothing without you. Now, staring at the egg, she realized the prophecy was true. Fate had finally come for her. Under her piercing gaze, the black egg broke into a cold sweat. Tuyen's eyes remained fixed on him, a silent omen of her impending doom. Tuyen remained trapped within the labyrinth of her own dark thoughts. Though Asuyen's prophecies were absolute, the fragmented visions of the future often lacked a clear, linear truth. Perhaps the black egg wasn't her executioner, but merely a witness caught in the backdrop of her fated demise. Sensing her soul drifting, Day's worried voice finally pulled Tuyen back to the harsh reality before her. Seeing his concern, she masked her dread with a smile. Day, can this black entity truly track the flowers of the poison tree? Most of those dawn flowers were trampled by the giants long ago, she noted, her voice heavy with doubt. Besides, those flowers possess a will of their own. They flee from hunters. Little Luen gasped. A tree that runs? Is it even a plant? She nodded solemnly. It's no ordinary flora. It's a sentient being that vanishes at the first sign of danger. Day smirked with a warrior's confidence. Fear not. I have a method to lure the beast out of its hiding spot. Giant husks secrete a rare substance, the egg condensate. To the dome flower, it's an irresistible siren's call. The realization hit the boy. So, you'll use the black egg's power to force the husks to produce this lure? But the giant's realm is vast. How can we ensure the flower even catches the scent of our trap? Dae's playful smirk vanished, replaced by a cold, tactical gaze. We've already narrowed down its possible sanctuaries. She glanced at the strange boy. So this child holds the key to control? Perhaps he truly is the cure for the giant's rot. Looking at her son, Tu-Yen's heart softened. The clingy child of the past had finally evolved into a true leader. Though I may not live to see his ultimate glory, protecting him now is the only legacy I have left. Memories of a decade spent as prey flooded back. They had been shadows, eternally hunted by the relentless crows. Without a Suyen's bone sphere shielding them, the abyss would have claimed their lives long ago. Touching the nape of her neck, she whispered, "Before my light fades, the bone sphere must be passed to Dae." Hidden beneath her hair lay a jagged scar, the price of a relic that devours the soul of those without absolute will. Her own body was already fracturing under the relic's backlash, a pain she hid behind a mother's stoic mask. Can he endure such a curse? If we can heal his hand, perhaps he will finally be strong enough to survive. Suspicion still gnawed at her. Were these strangers allies, or merely crows wearing a different skin? Suddenly, a voice echoed inside her mind. "Are you afraid of me?" The black egg's telepathic intrusion sent a jolt of terror through her. "You fear me because of this monstrous form, don't you?" Tu-Yen steadied her breath, mentally projecting her response. "Is it you, little one?" The boy nodded. "Something within you is forcing a spiritual link between our souls." Her eyes widened. "Is it the bone sphere?" The black egg tilted its head, processing the strange term. "The bone sphere. It reacted to your surging emotions, forging a bridge to my consciousness. From the moment you answered my call, our fates and our minds became inextricably linked." Seeing her tremble, the black egg offered a small comfort. "I may be a creature of darkness, but I am no villain." The sincerity in its voice thawed the ice around her heart. In an impulsive burst of affection, Tu-Yen pulled the boy into an embrace. The room froze in shock. She held him as if he were a vanishing dream, a lifeline in an ocean of despair. "Forgive me. Through the sphere, I feel your pure soul. It's been so long since I felt such warmth and peace." Dae watched the strange scene unfold, his voice laced with concern. "Mother?" Ignoring the confusion, she begged the black egg to heal her son from the giant's agonizing curse. Turning to little Luen with a hopeful smile, she whispered, "I'm placing my son's life in your hands. If my master gave his word, we will move heaven and earth to succeed," came the firm reply. Tu-Yen bowed in gratitude. Her gaze turned serious. "Little black egg. Now, there are things I must discuss only with the two of you." A heavy sigh escaped her. Secrets regarding the world of evidence. Truths known only to my husband and the crow phantoms. Dae understood the gravity of her words and stepped outside, sealing the room. Manito arrived to find him simmering with tension. "Dae? Why are you out here? Is your mother awake?" He didn't answer, his fists trembling with a dark, suffocating aura. "She wants to talk to that brat alone," he growled. Manito winced. The air was thick with his explosive, jealous rage. Fearing the coming storm, she quickly searched for an exit. "I just remembered some urgent business I must attend to." "Spar with me," Dae commanded, his voice like cracking ice. Manito didn't wait. She bolted before his fury could find a target. "Forgive my rudeness." Dae's expression turned deathly cold as he glared at Dongnam. Didn't that defeated loser want another round? Does he still want to fight? I don't know what's happening. But if a challenge is issued, I'll finish it. Bring it on. Moments later, Xiao-Lun and Black Egg emerged. These black fruits were actually the first humans discarded into this experimental world. And the mastermind pulling the strings from the shadows. What kind of mysterious god is he? Xiao-Lun walked on, lost in thought. Is this man using the world's life embryos just to cultivate food? Suddenly, he stopped dead in his tracks. Food? Are we nothing more than livestock? That's right, the eggs. I remember the red egg soldiers saying white eggs were just food. Yao Tian's face flashed through Xiao-Lun's mind. Human, you've noticed, haven't you? Everyone is a white egg mere food. I am a red egg soldier, but you are a black egg anomaly. The realization hit him like a physical blow. So that was the hidden truth. A sharp noise shattered his thoughts. Di and Dongnam were approaching. Xiao-Lun eyed them suspiciously. Where exactly did you two go? He claimed they were just killing time, but Xiao-Lun instantly spotted the fresh bruises on his face. Dongnam quickly turned away, trying to hide the marks. But Xiao Lun's sharp eyes didn't miss a thing. Dongnam, your face. It's even more swollen? He dodged the question. It's nothing. You're seeing things. Anyway, what's with that backpack on your chest? Aunt Tuyen gave it to me for the keys, Xiao Lun replied. Seeing Day about to leave, he called out. Wait, Day. Aunt Tuyen needs to see you. Without even turning his head, Day kept walking, his voice cold and arrogant. Forget it. It's time for us to move out. Staring at his retreating back, Xiao Lun couldn't hold back. Day, wait. Aunt Tuyen has something vital to tell you. Day glanced back. His face twisted in a perpetual scowl. Huh? Something important? If it was important, wouldn't she have told an outsider like you? What else is there? Hearing that tone, Xiao Lun snapped. Why is this guy throwing a tantrum? Even Black Egg and I can tell Aunt Tuyen only asked to speak with us because she's worried about you. You total idiot. Day turned back, his lips curling into a mocking, bitter smirk. Xiao Lun, why don't you just become her son instead? After all, her real flesh and blood is just an outsider to her. Xiao Lun clenched his fists, his voice trembling with suppressed rage. Seriously, was he always this loud? I can't take this anymore. I'm losing my patience with this brat. I'm talking to you, you spoiled brat. Xiao Lun roared. Do you think having a mother's love is a joke? Stop acting so damn entitled. The word brat pierced Dee's pride like a dagger. Dong Nam and Amchi watched in shock as Dee lunged forward with a scream. What? Xiao Lun, you dare call me a brat? You've got a death wish. Xiao Lun moved with calm precision. With a seemingly gentle flick, he effortlessly swatted Day's hand away. What's with this guy? How did he repel me so easily? Dee stared at the energy swirling in Xiao Lun's palm. It was terrifying. The power radiating from him was double what it was during his transformation. Is his emotional instability acting as a catalyst for this massive energy surge? Xiao Lun's furious shout echoed through the hall. Any man who makes his mother cry is nothing but a pathetic child. Dee sneered back in defiance. Me? Make her worry? I'm the strongest. Why would she ever worry about someone like me? And cry? My mother is a warrior. She would never shed a tear in front of anyone. You're talking complete nonsense. Xiao Lun let out a cold, sharp laugh. Is that so? No tears? Why don't you go inside and see her broken heart for yourself? Hearing that, Day immediately sprinted toward her room. Stay right there. I'll deal with you in a second. Black Egg was bewildered. Xiao Lun, that energy release just now. What was that? Looking at his hands, Xiao Lun whispered back. When I was young, I possessed a strength that far surpassed any other child. But the moment I discovered my parents were fakes, that strange power vanished. It hasn't returned until this very moment. Black Egg let out a mischievous cackle. Who knew you were such a little monster? Xiao Lun frowned, his gaze darkening with discomfort. In the human world, being extraordinary can be a death sentence. It's better to play the fool and hide your fangs. Black Egg tilted its head in confusion. Huh? Inside the room, Dee burst in shouting, Mother! Why are you so worked up? Seeing her lying there in peaceful silence, he grit his teeth. That brat lied to me. But his mother looked at him with endless tenderness. Are you still angry with me? Dee shook his head. No. She whispered. Day, do you remember the day you ran away in a rage? I never knew back then that you were actually preparing a birthday gift for me. Day's eyes widened as the locked memories flooded back. Young Dee had run off, fuming with childish anger. Mother is such a dummy. Couldn't she just wait a little longer? He had spent 15 days secretly preparing that gift. He couldn't just leave it behind. Suddenly, a harsh shout erupted from behind him. Where are you taking me? We aren't doing anything wrong. The child trembled in fear. Their mother's voice echoed. Don't be afraid. It's just a routine check. Just cooperate for the credits. Seeing his leader frozen in shock, the loyal subordinate immediately gives chase to the mysterious boy. The kid matches the target description. To confirm, the hunter quickly ducks into a dark alleyway. Day had sensed the tale long ago. He smirks, daring the fool to test his hidden genius. Crouching in the shadows, the assassin maintains a careful distance while stalking the child's every move. Suddenly, a lethal flash erupts. Tuyen's hair pierces the man's heart. She keeps moving, checking the perimeter. Watching the corpse fall, Tuyen hastens her pace. She calls out to the boy in a panic. Dee, we must flee. But he insists on grabbing something from his hidden underground secret base first. She hesitates, confused. Unbeknownst to them, a drop of blood on her hair begins to sprout strangely. De leads her deep into a gloomy, ominous cave where the air feels heavy and thick. Beneath the brush lies a hidden sanctuary. De claims a wild rabbit led him to this sanctuary. Day retrieves a hidden object. He explains it is a parting gift prepared with great care and love. From a small pouch, he pulls a porous stone. Tu Yen stares, her eyes widening in pure disbelief. The entire cave suddenly erupts in a brilliant, magical glow that leaves her breathless with wonder. It is beautiful. He had carefully hidden luminous stones inside the rock to create this dazzling effect. Blushing, De turns away shyly. Tu Yen is deeply moved and pulls her son into a warm embrace. D, I love it. Suddenly, his eyes lock onto a sinister bloodstain clinging to his mother's hair. Tu Yen's expression darkens instantly. Our location has been compromised. The hunters have found our trail of blood. The blood is moving on its own. Without hesitation, she tears the infected strand from her head. These new crow demons use blood magic for tracking. We must vanish before they surround this cave. Day reaches out, offering to use the bloody hair as a decoy to confuse their pursuers' senses. Though skeptical, she hands it over, hoping her son's plan can buy them a few precious moments. Heavy footsteps echo through the silent forest. With one sharp snap of fingers, the entire squad halts. Dan Na watches the tracking plant. Vuong Hak, mounted on a beast, asks for the exact location. Dan Na points directly at the ground. Vuong Hak realizes the targets are hiding right beneath them. Jumping down, Vuong Hak discovers the narrow entrance to the hidden cavern concealed beneath the forest floor. A subordinate asks if they should collapse the cave and bury the outcasts alive inside the earth. Dan Na declines coldly. He wants the targets alive to satisfy his own dark and twisted curiosity. Seeing the boy killed the previous crow demon, Dan Na wears a dangerous, predatory smile of pure anticipation. Let the hunt begin, sister-in-law. 30 minutes later, Vuong Hak is in hot pursuit of the boy. Stop running, kid. I am not in the mood for games. De taunts him right back instead. Day fires 2 blinding energy beams. Vuong Hak dodges easily, mocking the child's seemingly weak and pathetic effort. Not bad, brat. But before D can blink, the warrior has already vanished and reappeared behind him. He pins the boy down, showing off his superior martial prowess. A smug grin crosses the man's face. Are you sure? The boy laughs as the body dissolves into an illusion. Are you having fun yet? Clenching his fists in rage, Vuong Hak realizes he was tricked. He wonders if his master was fooled too. While sprinting, Tu Yen asks her son about the status of the clones he deployed to distract them. One fell for it, but the other is sharp. Regardless, more clones are watching our backs right now. She worries, but Day reassures her. His new genius techniques are far stronger than they appear to be. De smiles confidently. Suddenly, a strange sound causes Tu Yen to stop dead in her tracks in fear. Her eyes dart upward with lethal intent. Dan Na leaps gracefully to avoid her sudden, defensive counterattack. Show yourself, Tu Yen barks. Day is stunned that the enemy bypassed his decoys so easily and quickly. Dan Na descends, bowing with mocking politeness. It is an honor to finally meet you, sister-in-law. I am Dan Na, the new Raven Demon number 16, and I have come to settle some business. Tu Yen rejects the title instantly. She tells Day to run while she handles this arrogant noble intruder. The villain steps forward casually, claiming he only wishes to discuss terms for a peaceful final resolution. Yen shielded Day, shouting, "Forget peace, it is a trap. He is attacking from the shadows." She turned frantically. "Why are you still here? Run, now!" He bolted immediately. Day could not stop replaying his mother's stern, life-saving warnings over and over in his mind. Day, I have never lost a battle. You must listen. When I fight, you cannot stay. You must never become my weakness. Back then, he had promised with absolute certainty, "Don't worry, mother. I will never be a burden to you." In his heart, De vowed to stay strong. Dana approached slowly, her presence heavy with an overwhelming and suffocating killing intent. "Sister, listen to me." But she only barked coldly. "Enough talk." Suddenly, her hair lashed out like lethal whips, but De narrowly evaded. Yen roared in fury. "Let's see where you can hide now." Her hair descended in a relentless and blinding storm of strikes. Blocking the blows, Dana marveled. "Your power is incredible. but it is time to extinguish your flame once and for all. Blood dripped from his fingers. Then, a sudden, explosive strike sent Yen crashing violently into the stone wall behind her. Dee huddled in a corner, trembling. Mother is the strongest. She will win. She is the strongest of all. Heavy footsteps echoed, startling him. Dee snapped into a defensive stance. Who was it? Yen emerged, battered and covered in wounds. Mother! Seeing it was her, he ran into her arms. You won! Yen smiled weakly, stroking his hair. Yes, I won. Then, Dee noticed her severe injuries and panicked. Mother, your leg. You are bleeding badly. It is nothing, my son, she whispered. He argued back, eyes blazing with worry. Nothing? How can you say that is nothing? Dee looked up at her, tears streaming down his face like a devastating river. I will get strong. So strong you will never have to send me away again. Yen knelt, gently wiping his tears away. Once you are strong enough to beat me, I will let you stay. Dee nodded fiercely. It is a deal. He turned his back. I will carry you. Yen laughed softly. Silly boy. You are too small to carry me yet. I am strong. She smiled. Fine. When I am old, you will carry me across the world to eat and see everything. Dee's face lit up. It is a promise. We have a deal. Hand in hand, they walked away, sharing a moment of joy. Where do you want to go first? What do you want to eat? I will plan every single detail, Mother. There is time for that. We will plan slowly. She sighed softly. My precious little treasure. Listen carefully to me. Later, Yen spoke gravely from her bed. Dee, surviving this far was not easy. I know you hate the crow demons. I know you cannot accept your father is one of them. He interrupted her, feeling helpless and frustrated by the truth. Stop, Mother. I do not want to hear about him. But she persisted. He saved us with that bone orb when we were dying. I kept it a secret to protect you from being dragged into this dark and dangerous past. Dee whirled around. What burden? We have been hunted for 10 years. We are already in too deep, Mother. They have been chasing us forever. There is no escaping this nightmare we have lived in for all these years. She produced a small box. They are not just after the bone orb in my back. They truly want this. What is inside this box? Dee asked, his voice trembling. It is the key to evolution. Something beyond human limits. She saw the question burning in his intense, searching eyes. Yes, the rare essence from the life core. Dee took the object, feeling its strange, ancient, and overwhelming power. You are stronger than me now, Yen whispered. Protect your father's legacy. It is your turn to lead us. Only this can stop him. Becoming a legendary warrior is your only way to escape this cruel and bloody fate. Dee stood frozen in shock. Yen sighed, the weight of their world echoing in her tired, strained voice. I tried to trade this for your safety, to give you a normal, peaceful life away from the killing. But the Crow Demon Wars have forced our hand. We are standing on the edge of a very sharp blade. We must grow stronger. Dee gripped the box, a new fire of determination igniting in his cold, sharp gaze. He tucked it away and stepped out. It is time. Let's find Doan Hoa. We move out right now. His eyes turned ice cold. I will tear this world of giants apart. I will destroy every single one of them. Xiaolun grinned. He is finally back. They searched for 3 hours, but their target remained hidden in the shadows. Xiaolun sniffed a giant egg. Duh. Can't you smell that? The scent of this thing is incredibly thick. If the giants catch this scent, we are dead. Are you absolutely sure you cannot smell this pungent odor? I smell nothing, Dee replied coldly. Do you think those monsters can actually track us using this? As they moved toward the 4th site, a massive boulder shifted. Dee reached in and pulled out a glowing blue branch. Luan stared at the withered branch. Where are the flowers? Dee gasped. It has not bloomed yet. Curse it. Without a single bud, this tree will take 6 months to flower. Luan panicked. Wait, 6 months? Dee's mother's leg was rotting away. They had no time. Suddenly, the earth trembled. Before they could react, something erupted from the shadows to strike Dee. He leaped into the air, narrowly dodging a massive, pale hand reaching from the soil. Dee retreated, spotting a familiar foe. Wang He sat atop a giant, mocking them. Not bad, brat. Using a flowerless tree as bait? Wang He sneered. How fitting for pathetic losers like you. Lord, you are brilliant, his henchmen flattered, tracking their scent to predict their every move. Wang, he laughed. They were persistent. I will give them that. Chasing a hopeless dream. De's eyes burned with rage. This is not a trap. You just dug your own graves. Still so arrogant. Wang, he mocked. De paused. Wait. I remember you. You are that village idiot. Fan La roared in fury. You insignificant worm. How dare you insult the great ghost crow? De let out a cold laugh. A fool became a ghost crow? Is the bar that low now? No wonder they are all pathetic. Just like your master, who died at my mother's feet. My master lives! Wang, he hissed. I am his eternal blood supply. He will never die. Your mother ruined us, he screamed. Because of her, we became outcasts. We became trash. Pure killing intent exploded from Wang He. Now, I will use your bones to sharpen my blade. Luan, take the tree, D commanded. I will hold them back. Get out of here now. Luan hesitated, but to shove the branch into his hands. Don't argue with me. Go, now, De barked. Dong Nam grabbed Luan's shoulder. He is right. Move your feet. We survived by being strong. De growled. Wang He's smile turned wicked. I will break you first. Leaving so soon? Wang He chuckled. You two special eggs are not going anywhere today. Massive giants surrounded them. By the way, my master is heading for your mother right now. De froze, his face pale with dread. What? What did you just say? He is dying to reunite with her. Wang, he whispered. A long-awaited, bloody reunion. Lies. De spat. He could never track her bloodline. It is impossible. Wang, he smirked. Blood tracking? That is just child's play for someone like him. The Great Lord's power is divine. It is beyond the reach of mere mortals like us. Luan's heart sank. Could it be the same, Lord? De, we have to go back. Now. I will cover you, D yelled. He hated retreating. But they had no choice. Curse it! Move. The three sprinted toward the exit, exchanging silent signals for a desperate final gambit. With a sharp nod, De charged forward, drawing all the enemy's attention toward himself. Green light exploded from Dongnam's hands, blinding Fan La with a burst of pure energy. Luan dove low, striking with a massive electric shock that brought the giant to his knees. As a monster lunged, Luan unleashed his mental skill, seizing control of the beast's mind. Kill the others, Luan ordered. He turned to the black egg, his voice trembling. How many more can I control? The egg chirped. 3 more, if your spirit holds. They dashed through the chaos. Why won't this damn tree bloom? We need it now. It is beyond my current level, the black egg replied. I cannot force it to flower. Suddenly, 3 giants blocked their path, aiming to crush Luan and the egg into dust. Luan! De screamed in horror. But Wang He blocked his path, his eyes gleaming. Focus on me, brat. Your friend was always our real target anyway. Wang, he laughed manically. We found those secret drawings you left in the dirt. The map to the heart of life. Dee's blood ran cold as the truth hit him. Even the Lord missed this. This legendary secret is mine to claim now. Out of my way, brat. The outcast snaps, leaving a clone behind to stall the mighty Wang He. I actually enjoy being your roadblock, Wang He retorts, refusing to let his prey escape so easily. 5 clones? Is that your limit? Suddenly, a shimmering jade net halts the warrior's desperate advance. What is this sorcery? The energy web expands, ensnaring both Wang He and every single shadow clone. The bone sphere granted me this spatial barrier. To shatter it, you'd need a god's strength. Wang He sneers with cold arrogance. You truly underestimated me. Did you think I was easy prey? Looking for your clones outside the barrier? Wang. He laughs, his presence radiating overwhelming, suffocating pressure. Wake up, boy. My blade moves with my very will to seal the fabric of this space. De gasps in horror as his external clones are instantly neutralized. The legendary sword is nowhere near. Confusion clouds his mind. When did that divine blade ever leave its master's side? The moment you first cloned, I already had your funeral planned. Your hidden genius has failed. Nearby, the noble bullies whisper. Silence at last. He must be crushed under that weight. Check him. Dong Nam roars with fury, charging forward. Get your filthy hands off Xiaolun this instant. A spark flickers, then a violent explosion of lightning erupts, blasting the 3 attackers into the dirt. Xiaolun kneels, shielding the black egg and a toxic branch. Are you all right? The egg pulses. I'm fine, he pants. Unnoticed, a single drop of his blood falls onto the withered, poisonous wood. The branch trembles with ancient power, startling the egg. Suddenly, a glowing divine bud begins sprouting. The poisonous emperor tree is blooming. Xiaolun cheers, shocking both the emperor and Wang He. Seizing the miracle, depletes, Xiaolun, take that flower to my mother. You must go now. Clutching the branch, Xiaolun vows, I won't fail you. Aunt Tuyen will receive this gift. Dana observes the grim terrain. My lord, the giants cannot pass, and the blood trail ends here. Rente smiles, his eyes gleaming with dark, twisted curiosity. How very interesting. Show me more, Dana. Your bone sphere's potential is still untapped. Hand it over. I will claim its power myself. My apologies, Lord. You must extract the memories yourself, Dana says, summoning a low-level soldier. The soldier brings the prize. Rente sits regally, using a spoon to savor the fragmented, bloody memories. He takes a single bite, his expression shifting as the psychic flavors hit his refined tongue. The taste of these merged souls is utterly repulsive, Rente sneers, making his subordinates tremble in fear. Ah, I see. Before she was broken, this Tuyen was a rare beauty among you humans. Rente wears a chilling, subconscious grin, leaving Xiaolun shivering with an instinctive, soul-deep dread. Rente stands, letting out a piercing cry as massive, demonic wings erupt from his powerful back. Time to synchronize this vessel, he declares. Dana bows low, humbled by his lord's terrifying evolution. The two soar into the clouds. Meanwhile, Xiaolun charges ahead with desperate, lightning-enhanced speed. He grips the egg, thinking, these butterfly wings are fast, but we need to transcend our limits. The black egg vibrates intensely. I've added my soul power to yours. We are at maximum velocity. Xiaolun's heart thunders in his chest. It's not enough. We must beat that monster to her. He realizes racing Rente is suicide. We need a smarter way to intercept that winged nightmare. The egg reveals its secret. I've scouted the ruins. I'm projecting the hidden underground tunnels now. Xiaolun's eyes widen as the ancient map unfolds. These paths, they're a labyrinth of secrets. I see them. The hidden passages. He dives into the shadows, the egg trailing behind like a star. Aunt Tuyen's room has 2 secret exits, he realizes, sprinting through the dark, cold corridors. In a silent chamber, Tuyen wakes up alone. Qianni? Why hasn't she returned to me yet? Suddenly, Manito bursts through the door, her face pale. Lady Tuyen, something terrible has happened. Is it my son? Tuyen asks, trembling. The Emperor told me to stay here for safety. My communication vines just went dead. Someone or something has breached the inner perimeter of the ruins. Tuyen freezes, her heart sinking into her stomach. The nightmare they feared has finally arrived. Someone shattered my sensory vines in an instant. This intruder is no ordinary threat. Rising in alarm, she grit her teeth. My information network. It has been completely wiped out. The predator has reached the threshold. Tuyen sank into a deep, heavy silence. The Reaper has come for my life. In that moment, her resolve hardened. Ninark, lead everyone away from North Mountain. I will handle this alone. She fled to obey. But a thunderous boom shook the room, freezing her in place. Driven by sheer terror, she bolted back toward the lady's chamber. Tuyen sealed the gates with her own life force. Go. You are their only hope. I won't leave you. The enemy is already at our very doorstep. Go. Do you want their blood on your eyes? Move, now. I'll save them first. But I'm coming back. Don't you dare die. The room fell silent. Tuyen closed her eyes, embracing the encroaching shadow. Heavy footsteps echoed through the hall. Dan and Rente had finally found their prey. With a whip of her hair, the walls crumbled. Yet, the chamber appeared empty. Only silver strands remained. Did the little bird fly away? A sinister laugh erupted. Suddenly, deadly hair blades lunged from the darkness. From the shadows, she recognized that face. It was him, the monster. He unleashed a terrifying aura, his wings unfurling to hunt her down. With his three-eyed gaze, he whispered, "Found you." Despair washed over her. His wings peered into her soul. Truly, a masterpiece among human trash. Zero chance of victory. This is my end. Live well, my child. Suddenly, a familiar voice rang out. Aunt Tuyen, can you hear me? Her heart skipped a beat. Tio Luan, is that really you? The black egg has bridged our souls. Don't be afraid, look beneath you. Why did you return? Is the boy with you? He is fine. We have brought the divine flower to save you. No, stay away. This place is a graveyard for the weak. Run, while you still can. I can manage these monsters alone. I made a promise, and I never break my word. Trust me. Listen closely. Move 2 meters back and synchronize with the egg. As the villains prepared to strike, a thunderous rattling shook the ceiling. Is there a little rat scurrying above us? Rente sneered. Suddenly, the ceiling exploded. Rente sensed a terrifying presence approaching. An enchanter's aura. Move 2 meters back now, Aunt Tuyen. Her eyes widened in disbelief. This power. Was it really him? Have you become their target? Don't worry, Aunt. I am the predator now. Drink the nectar and escape. I will keep these fools on a leash. She wanted to stop him, but all she could do was believe. Fine. Once this poison is gone, we shall fight as one. Understood. We fight together. Dan Nan stepped forward, eyes on the ceiling. Wait, Rente hissed. Can you not feel that chilling pressure? It is the aura of a progenitor. Dan Nan's face turned pale. So, this little brat is the legendary specimen you spoke of? I am not sure. Rente did not care. He took flight instantly. No matter. Once I devour his soul, I will know the truth. Xiao Luan sensed the predatory aura closing in. Steeling his resolve, he surged forward. He knew his stalker was right on his heels. Seeing the relentless pursuit even through the narrowest crevices, Xiao Luan felt a chill. This monster would never let his prey go. I must find a way to fight while running. My peak combat state only lasts 30 minutes. I have to stall him, then use my erosion energy to vanish. I just hope the black egg's estimation isn't off by several seconds. With a grim determination, Xiao Luan funneled every ounce of strength into his legs, accelerating to his absolute limit. His sudden burst of speed allowed him to weave through obstacles like a ghost. Rente's eyes gleamed. This hunt was getting exciting. The thrill of hunting live prey had been missing for too long. I must control my power, so he survives a bit longer. Meanwhile, a wounded Tuyen crawled through the shadows. Dan Nan returned to the room, desperately searching for the woman. Sister, why hide? Dan Nan called out. But he froze upon entering. The room was empty. No matter where he looked, she was gone. Where is she? A secret passage. Dan Nan obsessively checked every corner, refusing to believe she had vanished. Elsewhere, Tuyen escaped under the black egg's guidance. Aunt Tuyen, how do you feel after consuming the flower's essence? Tuyen looked at her mangled leg, whispering that it felt strangely numb, a sign of shifting energy. The black egg hesitated. Was the dosage too low? There is 1 flower left. But Tuyen firmly shook her head. No, 1 is enough. Save the rest for the Emperor. Unexpectedly, the black egg sprinkled the petals over her injured leg. Just wait. Miraculously, the bandages fell away as her flesh knit together. Look, Auntie. It is working. You are healed. Back at the chase, Rente was a shadow of death, launching devastating strikes at Xiao Luan without pause. But the boy moved with inhuman grace, twisting his body to evade. With a flash of speed, he dove deeper into the ruins. Rente's eyes widened with fascination. I smell it. Black candy. The scent of Kafu runs in your veins. Xiao Luan froze, stunned. Kapu. Rente laughed, explaining it was the sacred fruit harvested from the most ancient tree of life in existence. It seems you are a divine descendant of the tribe that once dwelled within the egg of life, Rente sneered. Xiao Luan countered. The first tribe? Was this world not built and controlled by your kind from the start? Rente chuckled. Hardly. The egg of life is a primordial cradle we simply seized. We are merely the new masters here. There are countless zones here that even we cannot enter without using your people as expendable scouts. Xiao Luan pressed for answers about this cradle. But Rente's expression twisted into a sickening, predatory smile. This world's greatest value isn't its secrets, Rente hissed, but the delicious, fragrant prey that flourishes within it. Disgust boiled in Xiao Luan's gut. Delicious? You monsters only see life as a meal for your twisted hunger. Rente smirked coldly. Do your people not raise livestock to slaughter? In essence, we are no different from you. Xiao Luan fell silent, unable to refute the harsh truth. Suddenly, a voice echoed in his mind. Xiao Luan. Xiao Luan. It was the black egg. Good news. Aunt Tuyen's poison is gone. Her leg is fully restored to its original state. Xiao Luan urged. Fantastic. Stick to the plan. Take her and escape this place immediately before it is too late. She refuses, the egg replied. She wants to fight by your side. How are you holding up? Xiao Luan gritted his teeth and lied. Tell Aunt Tuyen I have already escaped. But the black egg saw right through his desperate facade. Liar. I can still hear you, meaning you are within 300 meters. You cannot lie to me. Xiao Luan finally confessed his heart. Aunt Tuyen and the Emperor gave me hope. Hope that my mother is still alive. I need her to survive, no matter the cost. I understand. The egg sighed. I will make her believe you are safe. Just stay alive. Xiao Luan. He gave a silent nod. As they fled, Tuyen grew suspicious. This path is moving away from Xiao Luan. Where exactly is our meeting point, little one? The black egg led the way nervously. The hidden tunnels in these ruins are far more complex than you can imagine. 500 meters left. Tuyen stopped dead in her tracks. Black egg, you are a terrible liar. I know these ruins. I have lived here for years. Do not think you can deceive me about these paths. She demanded they stop at once. Stop! The black egg broke into a cold sweat, realizing its deception had completely crumbled. I have failed. She interrogated it. Xiao Luan hasn't escaped yet, has he? The egg stammered. I can't tell anymore from this distance. I know you mean well, Tuyen said urgently. But I won't let that boy face death for me. Suddenly, a desperate scream echoed. Tuyen bolted toward the cry like a streak of lightning. Crawling through a pipe, they found a group of terrified survivors. A young girl was being dragged away, a strange purple tentacle coiled tightly around her arm. It was a gruesome sight. What is that? The egg gasped. Tuyen narrowed her eyes. My husband mentioned this. A horrific organ called an eye socket. Her gaze froze upon those haunting, cursed eye orbs. Tuyen lashed out with lethal hair, but the monsters vanished like mist. Black Egg gasped as they evaded. Tuyen stood firm as their shield. The group called her name in shock. Tuyen's eyes narrowed in confusion. They were supposed to escape via the North Pass. Survivors trembled in fear. The exit is a graveyard. Monsters have completely overrun our only path. Tuyen's heart sank. Only an inner circle knew of that secret route. Who betrayed them? A voice echoed he'd devoured their comrades' memories. Dan Na emerged, sneering. He had masterminded this deadly mountain ambush. Seeking revenge? He chuckled. No, I am here for a deal. A deal? Tuyen stood stunned. Dan Na got straight to business. He hungered for the rare candy, mistaking the boy's overflowing inner energy. That was his obsession. Suddenly, he demanded, "Where is the Great One?" He craved the boy's potential. Tuyen roared, "What is your endgame?" A dark alliance combined their powers to strike the hive's core. Tuyen scoffed at his treachery. Dan Na hissed, "We are just cattle." Lies. You are all part of the same monstrous, bloodthirsty filth. He failed his mission, and the master ate half his brain. His soul was shattered. Tuyen searched his eyes for any truth. "Stop! The eye orbs are watching. They will hear your betrayal. They are only organs. They see everything but hear absolutely nothing." A shadow loomed. "So you found my little weakness," Long Eye chuckled. Long Eye held a limp Xiao Lun by the throat like garbage. "Our game is finished." Dan Na's courage evaporated into thin air. With one snap, Dan Na vanished. Long Eye spat. "Ungrateful trash. Let him go. If you want the bone, take my life." He laughed. "You think I did this for a mere bone? Release the boy, and I will give you whatever you crave." "I am bored. Why ask when I can just read your mind?" He tapped his head. "I am going to tear your consciousness apart. I will rip your skull open and feast on your divine marrow." He licked his lips. Marrow-infused power. A taste I must savor. Black Egg screamed. "Wake up, Xiao Lun. This is our end." Xiao Lun remained lifeless. Long Eye tossed him aside like a rag doll. Tuyen used a mental link. "Is he alive?" Black Egg checked immediately. "He is still fighting inside." Tuyen steeled herself. "Take him and run." Her hair lashed out, but the monster did not feel a thing. Pathetic tickling. In a flash, he crushed the life from her throat. Her strands thrashed in agony. Black Egg shrieked. Let her go! Fear sours the brain. I will extract your bone bridge first. Do not worry. I will peel your mind while I rip the bone. Consciousness faded. Tu Yen whispered a final prayer for her dear son. A shadow moved. Xiaolun lunged, gripping the monster's massive arm. Still breathing? Long Eye laughed and slammed the boy to the earth. The power gap was absolute, yet the young warrior refused to break. Massive wings slammed the boy down, shattering the earth beneath him. As Black Egg screams in terror, Lady Tuyen cries out, "Forget me! Run while you still can." The noble retracts his wings, wearing a mask of false pity. My apologies. It seems I struck a bit too hard. Turning back to his victim, he prepares to finish it. But Xiaolun crawls forward, gripping the noble's wrist with a death stare. Long A's face twists in fury. You little brat Tuyen desperately tries to stop the boy from certain death. Xiaolun, enough. Stop this. But he only roars back. No, I won't let him take you. Deep inside, he prays to his hidden power. Corrosive energy, awaken. Please, I beg you, work now. Losing all patience, the villain sneers. So annoying. I'll just end you here. With a sickening thud, his wing impales Xiaolun. Screams echo as Xiaolun falls. Long Eye dismisses him like trash. Finally, the nuisance is out of the way. He seizes Tuyen by the throat, ruthlessly ripping the bone sphere from her body. Her agonizing screams pierce the air. The glowing sphere is torn free, condensing into a cold orb. He lifts her broken form. At last, the skull is mine. Suddenly, Long Eye freezes. He stares at his own hand in confusion. What is this? Why? Why won't my fingers move? He glares back at the dying boy, trying to steady his trembling arm. Even a noble's pride can't hide his growing fear. Impossible. You think this pathetic trick can actually suppress my power? Vong A's voice ripples through the air with mockery. How ironic. Long Eye. A high noble played like a puppet by a lowlife. Long A's eyes narrow at the voice of his old rival. Vong A, still nursing that pathetic grudge after all this time? A year ago, you lied to the king and stole my glory. Did you think I'd just forget? You're petty, Vong Na. Are you truly committing treason just to prank me? Vong Na only chuckles with cold pride. Treason? No, I'm helping you. Meet my new ability. Point image. I've placed a spiritual wiretap on every potential criminal. Everything you see and hear, I experience in real time. Long A scoffs, dismissing the skill as a useless toy. Point image? What a trash ability. Vong Na, prepare to be punished for interfering with a noble. Vong Na's tone turns icy. Punished? You're the one who broke the law, Long A. Acting innocent won't save you. The king's decree was clear. Any intel on the rare candy must be reported immediately. No private investigations allowed. You've committed a grave crime. Long A snarls. Nonsense. I was simply retrieving a bone sphere. Long Eye desperately tries to justify his actions, but his lies are beginning to crumble under pressure. Liar, you were going to crack her skull for candy intel. Seizing the chaos, Xiaolun leaps up and snatches Tuyen away. Vong Na watches them flee without moving. Aren't you going to chase them? Or are you waiting for me to report this? Long A is vibrating with pure rage. What do you want, you snake? Speak your price. The shadow finally reveals his greed. Give me full authority over the giant world, and I might stay silent. Struck by the betrayal, Long A stands frozen. Meanwhile, Xiaolun sprints through the dark, his blood staining the path. Aunt Tuyen, hold on. Lady Tuyen smiles weakly, accepting the end. My silly boy, don't cry. My fate was sealed long ago. It cannot be changed. No, I won't let you die, he roars. But she gently whispers, death comes for everyone. Xiaolun. It's only a matter of time. Tears stream down his face as he searches for any hope. There must be a way. Please, don't give up on me. Tuyen's last worry isn't for herself. I only fear for Day. He'll seek revenge, and it will consume him. Don't speak, Auntie. Just save your strength. We're almost there. Xiaolun pushes his body past its limits. Promise me, Xiaolun. Stop Day. Revenge against them is a suicide mission. He won't survive. He ignores her plea. Tell him yourself. You have to stay alive. But her light is fading fast. I'll save you, I swear. Meanwhile, Day wanders through a strange, misty mountain pass. What is this place? Dongnam senses a chilling shift in the air. Something's wrong. These creatures won't die. Suddenly, the monsters take flight. Why are they retreating? Dongnam wonders. Day doesn't wait, racing toward the feeling of impending doom. Mother? Is she trapped in there? Day ignores Dongnam's warnings, his heart screaming with unease. Mother! Day roars into the void. Miles away, Xiaolun is still running, his lungs burning with every step. Just a little further. The exit is right there. Hold on, please. Just a few more seconds. He fights to keep her breathing, hoping for a miracle. Behind them, Black Egg suddenly stops. Xiaolun, wait. Stop. Xiaolun skids to a halt. What is it? Then, he feels it, a powerful, rhythmic pulse vibrating through the air. His eyes widen as he realizes the truth. It's just like before. Something in Day's bag is resonating with us. Deep within the suffocating abyss, Vong Na lays down his cold conditions. Hand over the giant world's authority, and your secrets stay buried forever. Long A realizes the trap. This snake wants a royal recommendation. This world is your most worthless territory anyway, isn't it? It offers no food and hides a lethal, ticking time bomb. Why do you crave such a desolate, God-forsaken wasteland then? Choose now. Give me control, or face the king's brutal judgment. Long Eye's fury boils over, but the choice is a death trap. Obey and keep two worlds, or resist and lose everything. He grinds his teeth in rage as Vong Na's vengeance begins. Your own subordinate leaked the intel that sealed your fate, Long Eye. While tracking your movements, I stumbled upon a divine revelation, an ancient map marking the true heart of the life cocoon. A treasure lies there capable of shattering the entire noble bloodline. The entrance is hidden right here, within this forsaken giant world. Petty revenge? No, I am playing for the ultimate prize now. Dez's sensor pulses violently as he charges through the dark corridors. A sudden crash echoes from below as the floor shatters apart. Xiaoluan emerges from the debris, and finally finds them. His mother lies motionless, a broken doll in Xiaoluan's arms. Dee's heart stops, her bone marrow has been cruelly ripped out. She awakens for one last breath, her voice a fading whisper. She remembers the small gifts he gave her when he was little. Tears blur his vision as those precious memories flood back. Will you carry me one last time? She asks through the pain. A forgotten promise from his childhood returns to haunt his soul. He once swore to carry her across the world when he grew up. Where shall we go? What shall we eat? He asks, sobbing. There's no rush, she whispers as her light begins to dim. Day lifts her onto his back, his friends watching in tragic silence. Forgive me, Mother. I failed to fulfill our promise in time. You're not old yet, she jokes, her voice drifting into the wind. He lists her favorite treats, desperate to keep her spirit tethered. He promises her gardens and flowers, but her warmth is fading fast. Her hand falls limp. Day's world shatters into a million pieces. Before her grave, a monstrous, vengeful aura explodes from within him. To destroy that bastard, I must master the power of the center. He thanks Xiaoluan for the chance to say his final goodbye. Once they reach Kalha City, the path of blood and iron begins. Hours later, a sinister shadow desecrates the fresh soil of the grave. The shapeshifter Ungangque arrives to claim one final piece. Using forbidden arts, it extracts Tuyen's memories from the cold earth. The creature integrates her stolen consciousness into its own twisted mind. A perfect replica of Tuyen stands before the impatient Dan Nan. When do I meet the Zero Ghost? Patience is a virtue, Dan. Do you think the Master grants audiences to anyone? His anxiety is peaking, yet you remain unnervingly calm. The Egg of Life has triggered its reset sequence. When the countdown ends, every soul here, including us, will be erased. The mission is absolute. You must realize what is truly at stake here. Our every move is a desperate play to find the exit. The Master's test for Tuluan determines our survival. Dana remains skeptical. Could a mere boy really hold the key to our salvation? The results were undeniable. This test was unfolding far better than anyone had dared to predict. The core zone remains a mystery, yet it houses the main control room of the Egg of Life. That is the only place where this devastating reset sequence can be manually terminated. He proposed a desperate plan to shut it down. In Kalha City, a man fled for his life. He gripped his prize tightly. This brain core must never fall into the hands of the Ghost Pavilion. His pursuer was the deadly Guji. With her precision-engineered weapons, she struck from the shadows. Fear paralyzed him, As the man felt his very biology warping, a blood-curdling scream tore through the night. 𝒂𝒏, the cold-blooded assassin of the Ghost Pavilion, watched him fall. To her, he was barely a challenge. Do not log this as a standard mission. This is overtime. Do simply brushed her off. I lack the authority. Take it up with the elders. I warned you to handle this asset with care. Damaged goods are worthless. 𝒂𝒏 scoffed, hating the arrogant man who treated her like a mere tool. I am not some caged beast you can unleash whenever you please. Do carefully inspected the fluid within the egg. Luckily, it was intact. What is this thing, anyway? It is a brain core cultivated by the Black Wheel tribe. Rumor says it is their newest ultimate weapon. 𝒂𝒏 was doubtful. If the legendary Black Wheel tribe is this weak, the rumors must be lies. Do remained eerily calm. Why would the Ghost Pavilion risk everything to seize this specific neural weapon? He was searching for the truth behind the shadows. The pavilion has allied with the Redskins. Their next move is a total purge of the Black Wheel tribe. I refuse to be a pawn for those Redskin freaks. Do turned away. Do you really have a choice? We must return to the hotel. A courier is coming for the egg. 𝒂𝒏 cursed her fate. Laugh all you want. One day, I will break these chains and escape the Ghost Pavilion forever. A mysterious girl sat bound in shadows, a strange keyhole embedded deep within her chest. 𝒂𝒏 smirked. Without this keyhole I stole, they must be losing their minds. The hunt has begun. She could feel it. Through her void-like eyes, she peered across the dimensions, sensing a presence. Tyrluan felt the gaze. Is she spying on me? This woman knows I am watching her every move. In the East City, Dongnam checked the status. Tyrluan calmly described the chilling scene before him. Wait. She is moving. She is pacing through the room with that strange portal open. Tyrluan spotted a winged fox emblem. That is the Flying Fox Hotel, right next to the prison. This is the worst-case scenario. If she transfers the prisoner to Wang La, our mission is over. Something felt wrong. She had reached the city long ago, yet the prisoner remains undelivered. It is a trap. She is inviting the snake into the basket. Tyrluan, what is your move? A shadow of a smile appeared. My remaining energy is enough to manipulate a single puppet. Dongnam, let us put on a show. We will use her own trap against her. Dongnam's voice trembled with concern for his friend's deteriorating health. Forget the plan. You are bleeding out. Can you even stand? Tyrluan's confidence remained unshaken. My body is regenerating at an impossible speed. In this state, I might actually be immortal. The black egg chimed in. Little brat, if she pierces your heart, you will stay dead. You sure have a sharp tongue for an egg. Tyrluan joked, masking the pain of his transformation. The egg grew serious. You have far exceeded the time limit for this combat form. The black egg began downloading forbidden data into Tyrluan's mind. This surge of power isn't coming from me anymore, it's manifesting from your own soul. You feel the luck, don't you? Look, the mark of darkness has returned to your skin, it whispered, grieving its inability to shield Xiaolun. I can feel it. I'm no longer just a pawn for Xiaonan to exploit for gain. He offered a gentle comfort. Your worth is defined by my word alone, and to me, you are priceless. How great, how big, the egg stammered. I lack the words, but you are truly magnificent to me. Xiaolun refused to waste another breath. Emperor, rest easy. My body hasn't reached its limit yet. His gaze burned. It's time to set the trap and lure the snake into our basket. Amchi scanned the area, sensing danger. Something is wrong. Why hasn't the master returned? The rendezvous was near the Flying Fox Hotel. He moved forward, vulnerable. Suddenly, he stumbled upon a lifeless body and gasped in sheer, cold horror. Is this the giant Xiaolun was controlling? Why is he dead? Amchi checked for a pulse, trembling. No, nothing. Panic seized Amchi as he searched the shadows. How could this have happened so fast? Where is the master? Suddenly, he froze. Up ahead, Ngan was kneeling in total, submissive loyalty before a stranger. Master, since things escalated, I took the liberty of finding a replacement. The stranger smiled. Well done. Hello there. With a sharp snap of his fingers, an egg-like projectile shot toward Amchi, catching him completely off guard. Just inches from his face, the object shattered, releasing a thick white mist that blinded him instantly. In a heartbeat, Amchi collapsed to the dirt. The mysterious man spoke with chilling indifference. Now, Speak your report. 𝒂𝒏𝒌 presented a small box. Master, look. This is the brain specimen we swapped before the Ghost Ward noticed. So that was the plan. The Black Wheel intended to trigger a parasitic outbreak? A truly diabolical strategy. We shouldn't interfere. Let the Redskins suffer the consequences of this new plague. It will be quite entertaining. The brain specimen radiated a soul-crushing malice. 𝒂𝒏𝒌 bowed low. Yes, Master, but I have already been infected. He remained unmoved. A minor parasite? Don't worry. I shall extract it from your flesh myself. 𝒂𝒏𝒌 trembled with gratitude. Then, the Master tore a rift in space, the hole expanding until it swallowed the air. Moments later, a massive, organic, egg-shaped vessel emerged from the void. This was the nurturing vessel. The mysterious Master stepped inside the pulsing, biological shell. Master, I've forced Xiaolun's dimensional gateway into the prison. From within the vessel, the Master chuckled with satisfaction. Excellent. You always manage to stay perfectly in sync with the rhythm of my grand design. But Master, 𝒂𝒏𝒌 is arrogant. Pitting her against Xiaolun might be too much. She could crush him instantly. From within the nurturing vessel, sharp organic tendrils suddenly pierced through the outer shell. They stabbed into 𝒂𝒏𝒌 as a voice boomed. 𝒂𝒏𝒌's lineage traces back to the life seed itself. She is far more useful to us than she is dangerous. This will be Xiaolun's ultimate trial. 𝒂𝒏𝒌 dared not argue further. I understand, Master. Then, the figure issued one final, ominous command. There is someone in the dungeon who needs to meet Xiaolun. Arrange the encounter. 𝒂𝒏𝒌 wondered who. A Black Wheel member claiming to be from the copy world. 𝒂𝒏𝒌 gasped as the realization hit him. Elsewhere, Xiaolun voiced his doubt. 𝒂𝒏𝒌, if you're a top-tier Ghost Ward assassin, why fear those giants? 𝒂𝒏𝒌 didn't hesitate to reveal the grim reality of her situation. Fear isn't the word. They are the Ghost Ward's watchdogs sent to leash me. They are nothing but pests. Watchdogs? She sighed. Fine. Since I've chosen to follow you, there is no sense in hiding the truth. The Ghost Ward planted a lethal toxin within my blood. It flows through me, keeping my soul in chains. Xiaolun finally understood her desperation. So your true motive is to escape the Ghost Ward's shadow forever. Exactly. During my mission in the Land of Flesh, I discovered a second energy singularity. A rare rift. I've been watching the fluctuations there ever since, waiting for someone like you to appear. He realized the truth. So you found it long ago? Why stay in this giant world for so long? Leaving is nearly impossible, she confessed. These singularities are as rare as stars falling from the sky. Aside from the rift, only the Redskin's secret door offers an exit. Xiaolun's heart skipped a beat. 𝒂𝒏𝒌 added, only a Redskin can unlock it, and its location shifts like a ghost in the wind. Ordinary mortals can never harness the power of these secret gates. Xiaolun realized that without a guide, the gate's pressure would shred a normal body. He questioned her further. How did the ghost fruit pass through using those bone spheres? These artifacts were evolved forms of ancient seeds, and only 15 remained in the world. This revelation stunned Xiaolun. Those spheres were once living seeds of power. Before she could finish, Bone Girl collapsed, screaming as she clutched her head in agony. Xiaolun watched in shock, demanding to know what was happening to her. Her skin turned pale as she gasped. It was the ancient Gu melody, played by Du. The haunting notes drifted through the air, striking Bone Girl with invisible, soul-piercing pain. Xiaolun panicked. He could hear nothing, yet she was being torn apart. She explained that these low-frequency waves only tortured those marked by the curse. She wasn't acting. She urged him to infiltrate the prison within the next hour. Xiaolun was caught off guard. How did she know he could control the giants? She sensed it. The energy carved into the giant matched the power within his soul. The target was held in the high-security abyss, a place where even guards feared to go. Xiaolun's eyes narrowed. So, you're saying we must form an alliance to survive? Despite the excruciating pain, she agreed. They had no choice but to work together. Du's cold voice echoed, threatening to escalate the melody to its second, lethal stage. He warned that the next level of pain would make her beg for a swift death. I expect to see your shadows in 1 hour, he sneered before vanishing. While Xiaolun pondered, the Black Egg anxiously asked Day about their current situation. Day roared in fury. His clone had been defeated, a disgrace he couldn't forgive. He hoped his sacrifice had bought Xiaolun enough time to make his move. Suddenly, Dongnam and 𝒂𝒏𝒌 arrived, their faces etched with deep concern. They had been pursued by a mysterious stalker through the shadows of the night. Was it another miniature giant? They demanded to know who was hunting them. Dongnam broke into a sweat. His memories of the encounter had been completely erased. They realized their enemy possessed a terrifying ability to lock away a warrior's mind. He turned to 𝒂𝒏𝒌 for answers, but she only shook her head in confusion. Their memories were a void. Meanwhile, the controlled giant waited for them outside. The group stepped out, observing the silent giant as the tension reached a boiling point. They had to wait for Xiaolun. The heavy offenders were locked in the lowest level. There were 4 layers of hell beneath the prison, and they needed the bottom floor. The giant outside couldn't lead them there. The deepest pits were off limits. Xiaolun gave the order. They had to trust Bone Girl and move immediately. They arrived at the dark corridors of the prison, stepping off the giant's massive hands. Xiaolun looked around the desolate hall. Their guide was nowhere to be seen. Suddenly, Dongnam shouted, pointing toward the high balcony above them. There she was. Bone Girl signaled them from the upper level, beckoning them forward. They raced after her, wondering why the small giant wasn't following them inside. Bone Girl explained that the giant was guarding the only exit to ensure no escape. Time was running out. They had less than 2 hours before the key vanished forever. The final level was massive. She needed to sync visions with him to find the cell. Xiaolun was stunned. He thought she already knew the exact location of the prisoner. She only knew the general area. In this prison, inmates were moved like shifting shadows. We must act fast to stop wasting time. Xiaolun halted, his voice low. Fine, I understand. He summoned Black Egg. The key was revealed. But suddenly, the earth beneath them ruptured violently. Sharp bone spikes erupted in a deadly chain. Dongnam and Day barely dodged the ambush. Ambush from below, Black Egg shrieked. In a flash, the key vanished. The little spirit panicked instantly. She clutched the stolen key, laughing. Thanks for the key. Bone Girl's trap caught you perfectly. Bone Girl, you traitor, Xiaolun roared, chasing her. Was everything you said just a lie? With a flick of her wrist, she conjured a massive wall of white bone between them. I told no lies, she whispered. I simply trust no one but myself. Xiaolun slammed the wall. Curse her! He spat. The path was blocked. That wretched girl had played them for fools. His face shifted to a chilling calm. Let her go. She will crawl back to us in despair. Only I can activate that key. She is heading straight into the darkness of Wanglatam prison. Above, a panicked giant sprinted past with his crew, shouting, Did you hear the news yet? A corpse was found in the abandoned tower. The giant froze. A corpse? Was it 𝒂𝒏𝒌? The crew whispered in fear. Impossible. I just saw him alive. Xiaolun's eyes widened in shock. He stood up abruptly, whispering, This is bad. Is she conspiring with outsiders to escape us? He fell into deep thought. Meanwhile, Bone Girl stared at the key, her heart filled with bitterness. She ran like a hunted animal. In this world, the only person you can trust is yourself. Bone Girl charged toward the final gate. Freedom is mine. Out of my way, all of you. She aimed for the lock, her eyes crazed. But as the key failed to fit, she screamed. Why won't it turn? She forced the key with all her might, but it remained utterly useless. The captive girl could not take it. Just kill me and get it over with, she wailed. Shut your mouth. Bone Girl's voice trembled. I cannot give up. Not after everything I have done. She channeled her power, aiming a strike at the girl. The hostage could only stare, paralyzed. With a thud, the girl collapsed into unconsciousness. The hallway fell silent and cold once more. Bone Girl strained to lift the body toward the portal. To escape, I will sacrifice anything. They surveyed the area. Xiaolun, that giant you are controlling. He is completely lost, is he not? We are going deeper into the abyss, denoted. Xiaolun frowned. Could a manipulated giant lie? What do you think, Black Egg? Xiaolun asked, looking for any sign of a trick. Black Egg chirped. Brainless creatures follow orders perfectly. Unless, of course, he truly has no brain. Xiaolun turned back, his anger boiling over. This journey was becoming a total disaster. If Bone Girl had not caused such a scene, waiting for the guards would have been safer. Dongnam spoke coldly. She lured us away to buy time. But did she expect this outcome? That woman is a fox, Xiaolun replied sharply. She has already predicted our every move. The giant suddenly halted. I cannot go further. Xiao Lun barked. Why lead us to a dead end? The giant hesitated, pointing down. No. Look below. This is the way to the shortcut. This path leads directly to the exit, the giant explained. It is the fastest way out. They leaped down safely. Master, it seems the giant was actually helping us find a shortcut. Xiao Lun looked back, suspicious. Why stay silent until now? No matter, we must reach the exit. After minutes of winding tunnels, anxiety gripped his heart. Up, down, left. Something feels very wrong. Suddenly, a massive structure loomed ahead. Xiao Lun gasped, his eyes darting around in the dark. A dead end, he roared. This is a dungeon cell. That giant lured us into a trap. Sweat poured down his face. I knew it was strange, but why bring us to this place? Day narrowed his eyes. This prison's location is bizarre. It is hidden away from the main complex. And it is unguarded, Southeast noted. Is it empty? I will check the cells myself right now. His voice was a low rasp. Southeast approached the door, peeking inside to find a mysterious woman. The cell wasn't empty. A woman was trapped inside, encased in a strange, shimmering bubble. Suddenly, a transparent fragment of that barrier shot out, phasing right through the heavy iron door. It ensnares Dong Nam. The group screams as the sphere constricts, crushing the very air from his lungs. Give it back! The prisoner shrieks. Return my treasure now, or he dies in agony. As Dong Nam levitates, Xiao Lun desperately pulls him down. He's suffocating. Amchi cries in a panic. Break the barrier, Day commands. But no matter the force, the mysterious membrane refuses to pop. This thing is indestructible. Just then, the rhythmic echo of approaching footsteps chills them to the bone. It's 𝒂𝒏𝒌. She coldly orders them to release him. Xiao Lun stands frozen by her sudden appearance. Release him? Here? The woman inside hears the voice and erupts into a blood-curdling, vengeful rage. It's you, you thief! Give back what you stole from me, you wretched woman. The pendant. I only want my pendant. Xiao Lun is baffled. Was this all for a piece of jewelry? De snarls at 𝒂𝒏𝒌, calling her a thief. But she remains ice-cold, barking orders at Xiao Lun. Ignore her. Plug the key in now. The guards and the warden are closing in. The wardens are hot on their heels. Xiao Lun panics. Are the authorities part of this nightmare too? Move it, Xiao Lun. If that key doesn't turn, we're all rotting in a cell forever. Suddenly, a trembling whisper comes from the cell. Xiao Lun, did she just say my name? He fumbles with the lock as the woman's voice cracks. Xiao Lun, it's me. It's your sister. Sister? He stammers, his world spinning. Meanwhile, in the dark forest, a sinister presence gathers. Mysterious eggs pulse under a withered tree as a white-haired figure receives a dark status report. Abnormal energy detected. The ambush is set. Good. The white-haired man smirks. Everything is proceeding as planned. The academy is coming. Our mission: capture the hybrid egg and its host alive. Kill everyone else. 𝒂𝒏𝒌's eyes gleam with a terrifying bloodlust. So, I can finally start the massacre? Pretty much. But if they're too strong, don't linger. Just secure the target and retreat. Someone I can't kill? 𝒂𝒏𝒌's grin turns twisted, his aura becoming predatory and dark. He erupts into a psychotic laugh, sending chills down his partner's spine. This man is a monster. Damn it! Why am I paired with this lunatic? Once he sees red, he's completely uncontrollable. If we succeed, Du Tian interrupts greedily. Do I get to feast on an egg during the harvest? The leader chuckles darkly. Perform well, and your reward will be far beyond your imagination. Du Tian is blinded by the promise of power, totally unaware of the trap being laid. I can't wait, he laughs, licking his lips at the thought of the ultimate power-up. 5 minutes earlier, Xiao Lun stood frozen. My sister. She's actually my long-lost sister? The cave tremors violently as the guards surround them. Panic and chaos erupt in the darkness. We're home, Amchi shouts. But Xiao Lun grabs 𝒂𝒏𝒌. Tell me, who is she really? She called me her brother. 𝒂𝒏𝒌 looks away, her face tense. We don't have time for this. The hounds of that world have followed us back. We are all targets now. No. Explain it now, or no one leaves this cave alive. Xiao Lun's aura flares dangerously. 𝒂𝒏𝒌 sneers. You think you have the strength to stop me? Don't make me laugh. But seeing his trembling hands, her cold heart wavers. Fine. I'll tell you the truth about her. She searches her bag. Lie. That's the name the Ghost Ward used to identify her. She's a high-level fugitive, accused of slaying a legendary warrior of the Red Secret Sect. The Ghost Ward was hired for the hunt. Xiaolun is stunned by the scale of it. She's a monster. Every elite assassin sent after her vanished without leaving a single trace. It took me and 4 top-ranked killers to subdue her. She reveals a glowing sapphire pendant. This is the source of her obsession. Xiaolun takes the jewel, his eyes reflecting its light. The deep blue gemstone pulses with a haunting, ethereal beauty, hiding secrets of a bloody past. Emperor D approached with a sneer. Hey woman, show us your hidden stash. 𝒂𝒏𝒌 bristled in anger. Stop the insults. She ignored him, focusing on the pendant held tightly in her palm. Beneath the gemstone lay a photo. 2 siblings were laughing, locked in a happy embrace. Seeing this, Xiaolun felt his mind fracture. Lost memories began flooding back instantly. The sister in the photo carried her crying brother, her face full of desperate tension. Xiaolun, we must leave. Be brave. He clutched his head, screaming for his sister. As the haze lifted, Xiaolun realized the truth. She really is my elder sister. De grumbled, accusing the stinking woman of stealing gear to hoard the crystal egg. Infuriated by his wild arrogance, she snapped. One more word, and I will kill you. De rambled about the egg's immense value. Suddenly, the mask on Dongnam's face cracked. Shock filled Dongnam's eyes as the porcelain shattered. The mask fell in broken pieces. From the darkness, a lethal shadow lunged forward with the speed of a lightning bolt. With a single strike, the egg was severed. Everyone stood frozen in absolute, chilling shock. Xiaolun screamed in horror. The black egg! His world was falling apart once again. Dongnam was not finished. He snatched half of the shattered egg with ruthless precision. In a flash, Dongnam vanished, taking the egg and Xiaolun into the shadows. 𝒂𝒏𝒌 gasped at his insane speed. Was that truly Dongnam? Xiaolun was paralyzed. Why is my power gone? Where is the egg? He could not muster any strength. Don't worry, kid. I am just severing the link. I am actually saving your life. Xiaolun froze. That voice. You are not Dongnam. Who are you really? The imposter wearing Dongnam's face smirked. In this world, they call me number 0. Outside, Yaotian's group waited. Manager, how much longer? Let us storm the place already, the white-haired man scoffed. Patience. You cannot eat hot tofu if you are too hurried. A strange wind blew through the tall grass. 𝒂𝒐 sensed a presence and bolted. 𝒂𝒐, what is it? He shouted back. Something just flew past us. Something very fast. Yaotian and the manager stood stunned, unable to sense what the tracker had felt. 𝒂𝒐 vanished into the brush. The manager cursed as Yaotian remained perfectly still. He is overreacting, Yaotian muttered. No one could ever sneak past my detection like that. Suddenly, Emperor Day and the others burst from the tunnel, faces twisted in pure rage. You coward! Get back here! Day roared, clutching 𝒂𝒐 like a piece of trash. Your master kidnapped Xiaolun. Did you think you could escape from me so easily? 𝒂𝒐 struggled wildly. That was not him. But Day refused to listen to excuses. Show yourselves, Day barked at the bushes. I know you are working with that traitor. The brush parted as Yaotian's group emerged, looking for the source of the commotion. The manager stepped forward with Yaotian, 3 glowing eggs hovering behind their squad. Yaotian frowned. Wait, this is not the kid. And why is that egg halved? Half or not, we take it, the manager hissed. 𝒂𝒏𝒌 turned to the arrogant D. Can you handle them alone? D laughed. I do not need help from you. She smirked. Fine, but hurry up. A massive energy signature is closing in on us. D's eyes burned with fury. Worry about your own life before you try lecturing me. 𝒂𝒏𝒌 looked at Du. Go. You are free now. Our paths go in different directions. Du shook his head. I cannot. We need that black-haired boy to return home safely. I am never going back, she yelled. Du asked calmly, Want to hear a song? Without waiting for an answer, he raised his fingers to his lips, ready to perform. 𝒂𝒏𝒌's face paled. Fine, I will go. We will find Xiaolun. Just stop that. 𝒂𝒏𝒌 lunged like a predator, her killing intent locked onto the doomed squad. Any fool blocking her path was a corpse. Dieu sneered, mocking the beautiful warrior. Pin her down, the manager roared, his eyes burning with a lethal, bloodthirsty light. Our prize is the eggs held by the long-haired man. Dieu barked his command. 𝒂𝒏𝒌 wasn't afraid. She was ecstatic. The scent of blood was finally in the air. In a flash of cold steel, she sliced through the eggs and Dieu instantly. She wore a viper's grin, a terrifying contrast to her delicate face. Elsewhere, Xiaolun stirred. I can't sleep, he muttered, his vision blurred. He had no idea where he was. Nearby, Zero was deep in a gruesome task, fusing dark egg fragments into a massive core. Xiaolun watched in horror as strange devices were wired into the lifeless body of 𝒂𝒏𝒌. I'm testing his worth as a puppet, Zero muttered. Xiaolun's heart stopped at those words. A puppet? You can hear my mind? Zero smirked. The embryo on your back is my ears. Xiaolun realized a cursed device was latched to his spine, paralyzing his entire body. The mysterious man turned around, his gaze as cold as an icy grave. Patience, Zero whispered chillingly. Once the black egg is fixed, it will be your turn. Fixed? What do you mean by removing the linked parts of the black egg? The egg hovered as mechanical tentacles performed surgery. Zero remained expressionless as a machine. Surveillance organs were planted in your brain and within the black egg itself long ago. Half of the egg was compromised, so I cut it away. Xiaolun froze in terror. He continued his dark work on 𝒂𝒏𝒌's remains while casually explaining the horrific truth. Usually, this happens at birth, but you were implanted at 1 year old. Truly unfortunate. I was still adapting to this body then, so I couldn't save you from that fate. Xiaolun lay paralyzed, his mind reeling. Adapting? Are you not Dongnam's hidden personality? No. Dongnam is 22, but I have lived for over 100 years. I am a parasitic brain living within him. We share this vessel, but I am master. Xiaolun couldn't believe his ears. A man who had lived for over a century? What kind of monster are you? Zero frowned. I am a human from planet Earth. Xiaolun's voice trembled in confusion. Earth? What kind of place is that? Zero stood up. You were born here, so you've never heard of my original home. There, I was 𝒂𝒏𝒌, a rogue doctor who lived a dangerously exciting life. Zero stepped closer, his shadow looming over the boy like an ancient, dark god, until the red people appeared. We were the first humans placed into the life eggs. The first? You entered without knowing their goal? Xiaolun cried out in shock. Earth was dying. When hope appeared, do you think anyone could remain calm? Xiaolun's eyes widened as the dark history of the pioneers was finally revealed. Humanity saw these creatures as brothers. We sent 15 pioneers to explore this new world. 15. The exact number of the bone spheres. Zero's eyes filled with a deep sorrow. As pioneers, we were forced to undergo the Red People's brutal compatibility training. Xiaolun realized the truth. That training, it was to turn you into bone spheres, right? We were modified, Zero corrected, and branded with secret, absolute commands that no one knew. Zero's eyes flashed with madness. Kill the owner of Bone Sphere Zero and replace him. That was my order, he confessed. Xiaolun gasped. You weren't number 0 from the start? I am number 15. The Red People wanted us to slaughter each other for dominance. What were the orders given to the others? Xiaolun asked, his voice shaking. Each command was unique and secret. Only the link to the eggs reveals the dark truth. Is it inside me too? He scoffed. No. Food-grade eggs are low level. They can't transmit direct orders. The witness? He asked in a panic. What the hell is that? Even the legendary Zero seemed clueless. Zero frowned deeply. Data on the witness is scarce. Even my knowledge has its limits. But one thing is certain, it crawled out from the core area. Little Luan shuddered. The core? Again? Zero leaned back, finally revealing a truth he usually kept hidden in the shadows. Whether it was born there or mutated after entering, remains a dark, unsolved mystery, he murmured cryptically. Curiosity burned within the boy. What was his true role? Then, Zero's voice turned deadly serious. My goal is simple. I must escape this life egg before the Great Reset begins. He stood up abruptly. Little Luan stared, frozen in place. The reset? What do you mean? It means the life egg returns to primal chaos. Every living soul will be wiped from existence. What? The boy gasped. Zero ignored him, turning his gaze toward a colossal, pulsating egg. Before the end, there is a grace period. A final choice. Leave this world or perish with it. But the Red Tribe has sealed the exits, the boy screamed. Do they want us all to die? Zero turned, his expression cold as ice. Those mindless beasts? You overestimate them. They only care about harvesting food eggs before the end. How much time is left? Zero checked the black egg. Less than 14 days. The boy's hands trembled with pure terror. No, I can't stay here. I have to save my sister from the giant world. Your sister killed a red tribesman. The monastery was just a stop. They've likely moved her. She's being brought here, to this very side. Little Luan let out a choked, desperate cry. Zero explained calmly. This is the largest hub. The final transfer happens right here. The Red Tribe will sort the merchandise for the royal family. They want only the finest offerings. But since your sister is a criminal, she'll be butchered and eaten during the grand selection. Little Luan's face went pale. Butchered? Eaten? No. Zero nodded with a grim, heavy expression. If you want her alive, we strike on harvest day. Ready for this, little black egg? Zero pulled the egg from the tentacles. Your turn now. Watch closely. Wait, I'm not done. Suddenly, the device on his back sparked. Darkness swallowed him. He woke up in the transition zone. Rente, the captain of the Red King's elite squad, was on his knees, begging for mercy. Minku stared down coldly. Stop. Don't look at me with those pathetic, begging eyes. Spread the word, he whispered. You've all misunderstood the reset. It isn't just a simple event. It's not a sudden disaster, Minku sneered. It is a systematic, total purging of all life. He stepped closer. The black mist faded, revealing a hideous, pulsating gray brain within the shadows. His voice echoed through the dark. The mother brain has shifted from creation to absolute destruction. Countless egg sacs hung above. The apostles of evil are about to be born into this world. The reset is complete. He stood like a dark god. Prepare for the end of all things. Elsewhere, little Luan blinked and turned. A wide, hopeful smile finally broke across his face. Black egg, you're finally awake. The creature blinked slowly. Where? Where are we? Base 0, beneath the clock tower. Little Luan lifted him up, eyes burning with new resolve. You've been out for days. I'll explain everything later, but we are officially out of time. The harvest begins in 2 hours. We have to move now, or it's all over. Suddenly, Day, Dew, and Bone Queen arrived. I've been waiting for you to wake up, kid. Day, Bone Queen? Why are you here? And why are there 2 more eggs? D cut him off. Listen up. We're splitting into teams. This is the ultimate plan. Bone Queen smirked. We'll disguise ourselves as food to infiltrate the Red Tribe's selection meeting. I'll handle the perimeter, Dew added. I'll provide backup and keep the communications open. What about us? The egg asked. Little Luan's gaze sharpened. We find my sister and the witness. Black Egg was stunned. The Eggman nodded, confirming the grim reality. Word was, the harvester had changed. This new witness would lead them outside. Information on this shadowy figure was virtually non-existent. Rumors said the Redskins held the secrets to the exit. Was this a trap? The witness is a wild card, he explained. Too many unknown variables remain. The plan, save his sister, disguise as elite food, and escape the walls. But if the witness intervenes now, Zero's perfect camouflage might be exposed. Black Egg trembled. Is this witness truly that terrifying? Xiaolun sighed. He has an all-seeing core. Nothing escapes his piercing gaze. Then we just smash that core, right? Guoji barked. Ready for blood. Zero warns he is as strong as a redskin. Only your power can stop him. Black Egg froze. My power? Xiaolun could already manipulate energy himself. It failed against the Redskins before. He shook his head immediately. No. We need you to stop time itself. I can only stabilize energy. Besides, those I freeze are still conscious. Time does not truly stop for them. But you stopped it 3 times while unconscious. Actual, frozen time for 60 seconds. And in that frozen world, only I could move. Black Egg was lost. I do not remember. I thought it was just a dream. Think. What did you see? He gasped. I saw a colossal, pulsing brain. A deep voice echoed. Child, take my hand. Let us rebuild this world. That brain wants me to help it destroy everything. Then, he saw another self. A half-bodied version of himself appeared, attacking with savage, mindless fury. The nightmare never ends. Suddenly, the air turned heavy and still. "Look!" Xiaolun shouted. "Black Egg, you have stopped time again." The world was a statue. It really stopped? But why do we need this? To harvest a sample from the witness. We must find his fatal weakness. Where's Zero? He moved out alone. Black Egg grew even more confused. Alone? How will we coordinate? How do we even talk to him? Xiaolun pointed to a mole-like device. Through this neural link, visualize him to connect. Command it to disconnect when the mission is over. A static chime rang. He is patched in. Xiaolun, I found the Redskin base. It is right beneath your old school. Beneath the school? He moved swiftly through the shadows, avoiding prying eyes. I get it now, Black Egg whispered. Zero is Dongnam's hidden persona. But why trust him? This reset he speaks of. It is just his word. We doubted him too, Xiaolun replied, until he showed us the footage. Xiaolun paled. It was a recording of a creature being hunted like prey. Was that victim a life egg being? Xiaolun nodded. He overheard two humanoid monsters discussing the kill. They were competing, he recalled. Two monsters, hunting the same soul. During their clash, they spoke of the inevitable reset. They are vying for leadership. They want to rule the new world. Black Egg trembled. Competing? Xiaolun kept his eyes on the horizon. They serve something called the main brain. They are fighting for its favor. The brain from his dream? Xiaolun vanished into the darkness. School in sight. It is highly likely. As they moved, Black Egg whispered cautiously. How did you get this image? He answered calmly. Zero analyzed the data it was pulled from a human retina. Scanning the area, Xiaolun stayed alert. Is this person still alive? The egg asked. Xiaolun replied instantly. That much is unclear. The resolution is too low. It is not the original source. Suddenly, a familiar voice echoed. Xiaolun, over here. Zero stood by a classroom door with a faint smile. Deep beneath the school, two figures moved through the shadows. As he ran, Xiaolun spotted strange markings on the walls. Is this the Redskins' surveillance and defense system? He answered firmly. Correct. I have studied this before, but doubts remain. Xiaolun questioned him again. Are we truly invisible to them now? Hide your energy, and they will never detect us. The grueling training you endured now is the time for the final test. Black Egg trembled inside the backpack. Little one, I never learned how to hide my presence. He looked back and explained. Don't worry. Zero applied a stealth membrane to cover you. The egg gasped in shock. Have you found my sister's location yet? Zero replied from ahead. Z-Hai has already located her for us. Xiaolun's heart leaped with joy. Finally, we found her. But Black Egg was lost. Who is this, Z-Hai? He reminded the egg. The one who ambushed us at the cave entrance. Zero modified him, and now he is our ally. The egg felt a shiver at the word modified. Zero suddenly broke the silence while running. Xiaolun, we found her. But what happened? Xiaolun asked frantically. He replied grimly. The Eggman is heading toward your sister right now. Xiaolun froze, his heart sinking with dread. Nearby, a crowd whispered in absolute awe. A literal goddess. How did I never notice such a beauty in this school? 𝒂𝒏𝒌 basked in their worship with a seductive smile. Who is she? She is absolutely breathtaking. D walked beside her, clearly annoyed. I told you to dress modestly. Look at all these eyes on us. She snapped back with a smirk. Eyes on us? They are completely mesmerized by my charm. He laughed coldly. Mesmerized? Know your place. Just do not get in my way. 𝒂𝒏𝒌 mocked him instantly. In your way? Just make sure your hand does not suddenly transform. It is healed, you blind woman. She groaned in frustration. Talking to you is exhausting. Suddenly, a voice vibrated in his ear. D. He paused. What is it, giant tamer? In a low voice, the caller asked for a favor regarding the girl. Dai was stunned. Your life is hanging by a thread, and you still care about her? Are you still obsessed with taking her to the giant world? Admit it. You love her. He stammered, his face turning red. Don't speak such nonsense. Dai smiled mockingly. The harvest is about to begin. Above them, Eggs began draining energy from the crowd. Back in the basement, Xiaolun asked urgently, "Is my sister behind that door?" Zero stopped him. "Wait." Two shadows halted. "Zero, what is it?" "It is him. The Eggman, Mingju." Mingju stood before them. Flanked by two subordinates, his presence felt like a suffocating weight. "We arrived too late." Zero whispered a reminder. "Do not worry for your sister. He won't harm the Redskins' food." Xiaolun bit his lip in confusion. Why did he go to such lengths to meet her? Zero narrowed his eyes. He wants the information she carries. Suspicion flared in Xiaolun's mind. Information? I suspect it concerns the world of the clones. Xiaolun gasped in shock. The clone world? The birthplace of the life eggs? Zero looked at him and corrected the theory. No. She was in a different life egg altogether. Xiaolun was stunned. You mean my sister belonged to another egg? I don't know. You must ask her yourself. The tension from the telepathic link remained. Zero turned back to the main objective. Xiaolun, the target is right there. Now, show me the power you've awakened. He peered toward Mingju. Zero issued a final warning. When time stops, you will be the only one who can move. Use this vial to scrape a sample of his tissue. He handed over a tiny container. Xiaolun took it, hesitating. Will this wound him? Zero reassured him. It will be like a light breeze brushing his skin. Xiaolun nodded and stepped forward. I've got it. The black egg appeared instantly. I've finally grasped the enemy's critical weakness. Mana erupts from the black egg in a haunting blue light, and suddenly, time itself grinds to a halt. It worked. Why not just kill this monster now? Nam asks, staring at the frozen, motionless Minku. Tiuluan leaps from the shadows, closing the distance with the grace of a seasoned predator. He holds the secret to the exit. We can't kill him yet. Besides, we don't know if he can die. Tiuluan edges closer to Minku. Before saving his sister, they cannot afford to alert the enemy. He retrieves the vial to scrape the creature's nape. Zero's data will surely find its fatal flaw. In Tiuluan's focused vision, the target's neck is exposed. Victory is just inches away. Suddenly, a blur of speed cuts through the frozen air, moving so fast it leaves no shadow behind. Something just moved. But that's impossible, Tiuluan stammers, his mind reeling in the frozen silence. The black egg breaks into a cold sweat. I stopped time, yet it moved? What kind of monster is this? Searching the eerie stillness, Tiuluan scans the area. Where is it? Why won't it show itself? Forget it, the black egg urges frantically. Our time is running out. We have to move now. Right. We secure the genetic sample from this shell first, and worry about the rest later. Tiuluan lunges forward, but vines suddenly ensnare his waist, yanking him violently into the darkness. Dragged into a hidden corner, Tiuluan's heart stops when he sees his captor. Lathan. The boy smirks coldly. Don't bother. He uses multiple bodies. A sample from this shell is worthless. Tiuluan is paralyzed with shock. Multiple bodies? Lathan's voice remains chillingly calm and steady. This isn't his true form. The real body is far more powerful than this low-tier material puppet. If you want research value, you must find the original entity hidden within the egg of life. Stay away for now. If his true self senses you, there is no escape from his divine grasp. With that final warning, the mysterious boy slowly releases his hold on Tiuluan. Lathan glides toward Minku. Why help me? Tiuluan whispers. The boy only signals for silence. Tiuluan watches Lathan with suspicion. A dark, confident grin plays on the young boy's lips. Because I want him dead too. Time suddenly resumes, and Minku looks down, completely oblivious. Lathan? Don't wander off, Minku commands. The boy instantly puts on a mask of obedience. Yes, father. That one word shatters Tiuluan's resolve. Father, they need a new plan. Fast. He's a multi-body user. We can't strike him through these puppets. We need a different angle. Tiuluan ponders the connection. If they are father and son, that child is our only lead. Regardless of their bloodline, he helped us. We must use him as our breakthrough point, Nam suggests. Tiuluan hesitates, but Nam reassures him. Don't worry. A boy like that will find us again. Their discussion is cut short by heavy footsteps below. Two guards are approaching with a prisoner. Tiuluan's eyes widen in horror. He recognizes the person being dragged away by the guards. It's my sister. We must rescue her now. Nam worries if the black egg can stop time again. 𝒂𝒏𝒌 turns with absolute certainty. He can. We've trained for this exact moment. We've practiced this a dozen times, the black egg confirms. The cooldown is only 2 seconds. The 𝒂𝒏𝒌 crown on her head is the problem, Nam notes. It's constantly reading her brain. He pulls out a device. When time stops, the 𝒂𝒏𝒌's signal will also be cut off. But if it gets too close to those guards, we'll be detected instantly. It's a huge risk. 𝒂𝒏𝒌 calculates the timing. We'll split it into 3 bursts. Nam is finally convinced. 𝒂𝒏𝒌, you can shrink your body to any size, right? 𝒂𝒏𝒌 asks the small creature. It chirps a confident yes. 𝒂𝒏𝒌 breathes a sigh of relief. The plan is set. Time freezes once more. 𝒂𝒏𝒌 sprints forward, holding the tiny 𝒂𝒏𝒌 tightly in his hand. Can this thing really mimic anyone just by reading their mind? The black egg asks skeptically. 𝒂𝒏𝒌 dodges the guards with surgical precision. Trust me, its shape-shifting is flawlessly perfect. Xiaolun leans in, hiding the silver cinnamon in her hair. 2 minutes is all he needs to scan her soul. Before vanishing, he comforts her with a gentle touch. Wait for me, sister. Once the data is ours, I will save you. Only after ensuring she is safe does he disappear into the shadows like a ghost. Elsewhere, a grim procession carries eggs upon their heads. 𝒂𝒏𝒏𝒌 and Day blend in, nearing the fateful selection point. The center path. That is where the highest quality offerings are gathered for the feast. They join the line, hearts racing. Up ahead stands the formidable Rente, his gaze sharp and predatory. A red-skinned guardian watches over them. 𝒂𝒏𝒌 whispers, "Stay calm. If we act like mindless dolls, he won't notice a thing." De nods, his expression turning into a mask of cold indifference. We have suppressed our auras to match these commoners. Just walk forward without a single flicker of emotion. Her telepathic warning rings out. Focus. The identifying crystal is right in front of us. Do not falter. Selection is determined by light. Purple is elite, green is mid-tier, and yellow is mere trash. 𝒂𝒏𝒌 prepares herself. Her stolen tests always flashed purple before. This deception should be a walk in the park. Stepping forward with a calculated stride, she faces the scanner. The device hums as it draws near her soul. Seconds stretch into eternity until flash. Purple. 𝒂𝒏𝒌 exhales softly. The mask has not slipped. She moves toward the central hall, but Rente's eyes suddenly snap toward her. She passes him like a shadow. Once clear of his suffocating presence, a surge of triumph washes over her. The first step is complete. Now it is Dez's turn at the altar. But as the machine scans, a haunting blue light erupts. D freezes in pure shock. Why blue? Meanwhile, the scene shifts back to 𝒂𝒏𝒌's dangerous path. Her internal composure cracks. Day, speak to me. Why was it blue? He replies faintly, I have no idea. Could it be that Zero boosted the crystal's data too far beyond its limits? But a far more lethal problem arises from the shadows. Blue and yellow mean the egg will be torn from the host. Day gambles everything. Let it happen. I will fake my death. Can't you just escape now? 𝒂𝒏𝒌 pleads, her voice laced with growing dread. Impossible. De counters. Before him, grotesque red-skinned giants are devouring eggs with a primal, sickening hunger. They gorge themselves like ancient beasts that have been starved for 1,000 years. The area is crawling with red-skinned elite guards. And now, Day is next on their blood-stained menu. They swarm to feast before the eggs even separate. A giant's predatory gaze locks onto D, leaving 𝒂𝒏𝒌 helpless. Handle this, Day, she commands with iron resolve. He responds, consider it done. I won't fall here. With the pact sealed, she marches forward into the dark belly of the enemy's lair. Back to Xiaolun. The giants continue their relentless march, completely unaffected by the black egg's time-stop ability. Frustration boils over within him. Damn it. Why does time refuse to obey me when facing these monsters? The black egg sighs in defeat. At least Zero is halted. We have no choice but to move on. Against red-skinned foes, time manipulation is a one-shot gamble. A bitter realization, I should have saved my sister sooner. Can the two of us take them down? Xiaolun asks, his eyes burning with desperate fire. The answer is a cold rejection. With Zero's power, maybe one. But both? That is suicide. We are barely a match for their servants. and these monsters share a hive mind across the realm. Reinforcements will swarm us. We would fail her and become hunted criminals in an instant. The voice drops to a whisper of despair. We are still too weak. Then, a sudden, sharp command. Release the power. If they sense a time user, our lives are over. The black egg obeys instantly. Nam finally speaks, his voice heavy with grim reality. Our hidden trump card failed. There is no other way. We stick to the plan. Find an opening at the feast. With the silver cinnamon, we still hold the advantage. Xiaolun clenches his fist until his knuckles turn white. Fine. It is our only shot at survival. But no more hiding. I am disguising you as a legendary, high-grade egg. We are going in as bait. The black egg accepts the dangerous gambit. The scene shifts once more into the heart of the tower. Inside the elevator, 𝒂𝒏𝒌 is surrounded. 5 elite eggs have finally been gathered for the ultimate slaughter. Her brow furrowed, masking every flicker of emotion. With such limited numbers, the risk of exposure remained dangerously high. The elevator groaned to a halt, and the group vanished into the shadows of the corridor. 5 captives sat huddled in iron cages. 𝒂𝒏𝒌 observed the grim scene, her voice dripping with cold sarcasm. Cages? How sophisticated. Moving with the grace of a predator, 𝒂𝒏𝒌 closed the distance between her and the prisoners. She calculated her moves. Less than 10 targets remained, and the cramped space offered no room for error. Her mana senses flared. 50 meters to the left, 2 more cages overflowed with prey. The demonic feast was beginning just below. Her instincts were razor-sharp. Below them lay a grand hall, echoing with the chaotic chatter of monsters. The beasts laughed, reveling in their dark game. 𝒂𝒏𝒌 counted 4 red-skinned mutants standing guard. A voice hissed in shock. You usually sense danger from a mile away. Why are you walking into a trap? Is your mind clouded by fear? 𝒂𝒏𝒌 snapped back inwardly. I decide my own fate. No risk, no reward. Isn't that your motto? Her partner fell silent, gripped by helpless frustration. A faint, dangerous smirk touched her lips. Destiny was finally knocking at her door. Above her, Lathan watched like a hawk. Seizing the perfect moment, he descended into the fray. He stood behind her, whispering with chilling calm. Tell me, sister, when did you first notice me? He moved closer, his voice a soothing venom. Relax. I've sealed their senses. This conversation is for our ears only. Lathan clung to her back like a shadow. 𝒂𝒏𝒌 realized he'd been trailing her since the very beginning. If her hunch was right, this was the child Phuong Chu Luan warned her about. You're remarkably calm, he praised. 𝒂𝒏𝒌's expression remained a mask of iron. Enough games. What is it you want from us? I've always liked direct women, he chuckled. Now, show yourself. At his command, Lenya emerged from the darkness. 𝒂𝒏𝒌 froze, her composure momentarily shattered. A mere child. I'll turn her into an egg, Lathan proposed, and swap her with the one on your head. The audacity of the plan sent a jolt through her, yet her face remained as cold as stone. Get her past the outer wall, he demanded. In exchange, I'll ensure you pass through undetected. 𝒂𝒏𝒌 didn't hesitate. It wasn't just a deal, it was the golden opportunity she needed. Elsewhere, Tu Luan and Fong merged with the elite crowd. Tu Luan, what did she say? Black Egg whispered. Why the sudden change? Infiltrating the high-quality unit is a suicide mission. She's negotiating with the Dragon Prince, he explained. But she warned me to watch out for Zero. Confusion clouded Black Egg's mind. Tu Luan's thoughts were spiraling into a dark abyss of suspicion. Is Zero a clone? Black Egg panicked. What kind of twisted magic is this? Was he always a fake, or was he replaced? Tu Luan's trust had already turned to ash. Yet, the switch between Dong Nam and Zero felt too seamless to be a simple fabrication. Could a mere copy mimic a human soul so perfectly? Cold sweat beaded on Black Egg's brow. Stop overthinking, Tu Luan commanded. At this stage, we only have 2 choices, stay sharp or die. But Tu Luan, what about your sister? Black Egg asked. How can we save her now? If they move toward the high-quality unit, the chance of a rescue mission would vanish instantly. The Dragon Prince says she holds a massive secret. They won't kill her. They'll smuggle her out. The person they saw before was just a shape-shifting Longyan. Can we really trust his word? I trust my instincts, Tu Luan stated, his gaze hardening. When I touched her, I felt a strange, alien energy. Black Egg hesitated, Sensing the gravity of the situation, 𝒂𝒏𝒌 mentioned two things. I bet my life she's being moved toward the outer wall. Itachi had been stationed outside, scouring the perimeter for any sign of a hidden exit. If she's moved, he'll find her. But wait. What happened to the Emperor? They stepped into the elevator, the air heavy with dread. His egg was devoured by those red-skinned monsters. After we meet 𝒂𝒏𝒌, we find Itachi. Then, we plan our final move. Chuluan, I don't get it, Black Egg stammered. Where is the original exit? Who built this one? The red-skinned giants sealed the perimeter. The gates malfunctioned, locking us in. Our fate was sealed. The escape route was a trap, he realized. The witness taught us this for a reason. The elevator groaned, stopping at the 4th floor. They were dragged like livestock toward a massive iron cage. 4 stood before the bars. Xiaolun realized the truth. They were the final batch of premium offerings. The ground trembled as they descended. The giants' hunger was growing. They couldn't wait any longer. It wasn't just them. Countless cages were lowering into the dark abyss of the feeding grounds. The banquet begins. Guests, take your seats. Xiaolun and Nam sat displayed like a main course. Beside them sat the bone grinders. The table was a nightmare of raw eggs and brains. The giants descended. How many high-quality eggs did we harvest this time? 2, O asked coldly. Most died on the journey, a voice replied. Only 25 remain for the feast. Bak Lam let out a cruel, mocking laugh. Then we must savor every bite of what's left. Nothing beats the taste of a fresh harvest, carved right at the table. Don't forget our privilege, Long-A added. We get to pick 2 for an immediate snack. Xiaolun froze. Even the girl trembled in terror. The giants ignored their screams, discussing their meal like casual gossip. If this continues, who knows how many will survive the journey through the exit? The king's share was dwindling. One giant began stuffing his face, talking through a mouthful of gore. The energy of life eggs outside the wall is far too potent, he shouted with excitement. The witness claimed the medicine was improved, but who knows if it actually works? Suddenly, Lathan flickered into existence behind Long-A. Why not test the results right now, my lord? The giants jumped in shock. Lathan, you ghost. Where is your father lurking? Father is delayed with business. I am here to serve your every whim tonight. Long-A fell silent. Black Egg whispered in a panic. Xiaolun, did you take the medicine? Xiaolun's gaze sharpened. The artificial exit requires perfect energy synchronization with the wall. Without the drug, the energy frequency will tear your soul apart. A heavy silence filled the cage. Bak Lam grew impatient. Long-A, it's your turn. Pick 2 eggs for the kitchen. Now. Look at you, drooling already, Long-A chuckled. Fine, I'll choose the best ones. We're dead, Black Egg whimpered. If he picks us, it's all over. Xiaolun remained unnervingly calm. Stay still. We were in combat mode before. He won't recognize us in this state. Long-A stood up, his heavy footsteps echoing. He leaned against the bars, eyes scanning the meat. Let's see. The ones with the strongest willpower always taste the sweetest. His predatory gaze lingered on each captive. Finally, he stopped. A cruel smirk played on his lips. His eyes locked onto Xiaolun and Fei, but before he could speak, Lathan stepped in. It seems our tastes align, great lord. I had my eye on these 2 as well. Long-A's face twisted in disgust. The same taste? You think a lowly peasant like you is my equal? To spite him, Long-A pointed elsewhere. You're wrong, Lathan. I want those 2 on the ends. The gamble worked. They were safe. Let me deliver those to the kitchen for you, Lathan offered. No need, the giant barked. I want to feel the life fade from them personally. Lathan bowed, hiding a secret smile. Xiaolun realized the boy was playing the monsters like puppets. Time crawled as Long-A claimed his prizes. The tension in the air was suffocating. The 2 chosen victims collapsed. Their life eggs had been brutally extracted, leaving them empty shells. Long-A slammed 1 egg onto the table. Watch closely. Witness my perfect choice. He raised a blade to carve it open. Suddenly, Minku lunged forward. Stop! Don't touch it! Before the giant could react, Minku slapped the egg away. It shattered against the far wall. Black, putrid sludge oozed from the broken shell. There was no life inside, only rot. The Black Dragon clan infected these eggs with a virus. The feast turned into a nightmare of silence. The dark ring egg shattered against the stone, spilling a vile, ebony sludge across the floor. While eyes were fixed on the mess, the broken captive stirred, vowing to take one soul with him. Long A's face twisted in fury, seizing the chaotic moment for a lethal, cowardly strike. "Die, you savages!" he roared, lunging forward, only to be impaled by a monstrous, razor-sharp wing. Min Ku approached with chilling composure, his cold gaze sweeping across the rows of iron cages. In a blink, he vanished, reappearing before Bone Queen's cell, sending a wave of terror through her. "Stay calm," she whispered internally, maintaining a mask of absolute indifference under his piercing, soul-searching stare. She had to trust the little dragon's plan. There was no room for a single mistake now. Suppressing her rising panic, she braced herself, knowing one slip-up would mean a brutal, agonizing death. Lathan followed behind, his anxiety pulsing visibly as he locked eyes on Min Ku's looming silhouette. Without warning, Min Ku struck the adjacent cage, exposing a hidden traitor lurking within the deep shadows. His voice dripped with authority. "The contaminated vessels have been purged from this world," he declared. Turning to the nobles, he announced, "My lords, these elite specimens must be transported to the core immediately. I will skip the girl's trial." Long Eye froze, baffled by this sudden, disrespectful change in priority. "The king has issued a secret decree," Min Ku explained. "I am merely following his divine will." Shock rippled through the crowd. A secret order? Doubts began to cloud the nobles' arrogant, haughty faces. 2-0, the king tells you everything. Did you hear this? 2-0 shook his head, puzzled. "But rumors say Len has returned from the core," he added. Long Eye's heart skipped a beat. Without another word, Min Ku turned his back on them, issuing a final, stern command to his men. "Time is a luxury. Bring the bronze mirror portals." His subordinates obeyed the warrior genius instantly. As the massive mirrors were revealed, Long Eye frowned. "Why use such a high-tier transportation method now?" "The pressure will crush the specimens," Long Eye argued. Lathan stepped forward to skillfully intervene. "Fear not, Lord. My father crafted these specifically for safe passage into the inner egg worlds." He offered a polite smile. "These mirrors protect the body. They are perfectly safe for our use." Though he kept a pleasant face, a storm of resentment brewed deep within the noble's petty heart. Turning to Min Ku, Lathan whispered, "Father, does this mean the export destination is finally set?" "Silence. Help with the transport," Min Ku commanded, his voice as heavy and unyielding as a mountain. "Yes, father," he replied obediently, bowing his head in total submission to the strongest warrior's will. Min Ku addressed the nobles again. "I've secured a passage near the outer walls for our final exit. Using the mirrors will cut travel time in half. Efficiency is our absolute priority in this mission." 2-0 beamed with satisfaction. "Exquisite work, Min Ku. Your foresight is truly unmatched among your peers." Under Lathan's direction, the shackled captives were herded into the shimmering, mystical bronze portals. "Move it," Xiaolun whispered via telepathy. "Dai, have they really mastered creating exits like this?" Dai watched intently. The engineer is embedding a strange, parasitic device directly into the ancient stone wall. "A device?" Xiaolun gasped. Di narrowed his eyes, describing the grotesque, chitinous creature in detail. It looked like a scaled insect. Nearby, a soldier toyed with another wriggling, biomechanical beast. The creature screeched in agony as it was hammered ruthlessly into the unyielding, cold stone. Lightning crackled from its horns, surging through the wall as masked men searched their kits frantically. Watching from the shadows, you noticed them forming a triangular formation. Dai's brow furrowed in deep suspicion. The engineer kept digging. "Is that black mud he's pulling out?" Xiaolun asked via telepathy. The sludge was molded into a grotesque shape. "It looks exactly like the forbidden alchemy rumors suggested." "Dai, did you see any sign of my sister during the infiltration of this hellish place?" "Nothing yet. But the space behind those bronze mirrors is perfect for hiding a high-value prisoner." Yu glared at the massive mirrors. "She had to be there. Understood. I'm moving in now." Silence fell over the chamber. Then, from the shimmering depths of the mirror, a pair of legs emerged. As the figure emerged, Lathan rushed forward. "Father, we have 23 high-grade cores, including the 7 Redskin Lords. That's 31 total." His face lit up with desperate hope. "Shall we refine 31 pills then?" The master produced a strange object and handed it over. It resembled a metallic bullet casing. He stared at it, his voice trembling with doubt. Are you really handing these back to us? Minku's brow arched in cold amusement. Lathan, did I not promise a swift return? You stay put. His face remained a mask, but his fists clenched until veins pulsed. Will you truly return? Or is this another lie? You never intended to lead us out of this hell, did you? Silence fell heavy as the master spoke. Lathan. He flinched, nodding submissively. Understood. We shall await your return. Minku smirked, satisfied. Good. Proceed. Lathan turned away, bitterness poisoning his soul. Asterisk. We are nothing but lab rats to him. Asterisk. Asterisk. Failed clones of a dragonkin. Asterisk. Asterisk. Once our usefulness ends, we are discarded. Asterisk. Asterisk. My life doesn't matter, but... Asterisk. He glanced at the captive crowd. Asterisk Lenya. She must survive this nightmare. Asterisk. Reaching the swirling void of the spatial gate, Lathan's gaze pierced into the empty abyss. He levitated toward the rift, thrusting his arm inside. Instantly, a terrifying gravitational force began to tear at his flesh. He gritted his teeth, suppressing a scream of agony. The onlookers watched in sheer confusion and horror. Suddenly, a vibrant orange flower erupted from the void. Lathan uncapped the bullet, pouring the shimmering essence onto its petals. 3 long ethereal filaments began to coil out from the bloom. Radiant green fruits crystallized on the vines. Du and Day stared, breathless. Are those the pills growing naturally? A memory sparked the ghost market's most sacred relic. Something even the highest lords worshipped as divine. A divine artifact? Du nodded gravely. It's a calamity. Unearthed from the central zone. Day's heart nearly stopped. What? A calamity? Like the forbidden egg nectar? Wait a moment. Asterisk. Are these the survivors of the forbidden zone from a century ago? Asterisk. Minku watched the fruit ripen with a predator's focus. Lathan descended, kneeling before his master. Father, the resonance frequency has been synchronized. You've done well, my son. The glowing fruits detached, spiraling toward Minku's waiting hand. 33 perfect pearls. To realize, then, this little dragonkin possessed terrifying, hidden genius. Du whispered in awe. The National Treasury said obtaining these was an impossible feat. He narrowed his eyes, plotting his next move. Asterisk. I just need the blood to finish its circuit. Asterisk. Day's eyes snapped open with hidden ferocity. He remembered the moment Lathan stood over his broken body. You're Day, right? Sister Bone mentioned you. Day remained motionless, playing his part. Keep playing dead. Just listen, Lathan whispered, holding a small vial. This vial contains my own blood. You and your allies must merge it with your own. He leaned closer, studying Day's face. Once it flows through your veins, your skin will transform into mine. Then, I can infiltrate and swap the eggs for you. Back in the present, he tightened his jaw. Beside him, Du's eyes bulged in shock. D, your skin. It's completely changed. Di spun around, equally horrified. Brother, you too. A cold light glinted in his eyes. Finally, the transformation was complete. Lathan approached with an arrogant stride. Father, that process drained a lot of my blood. Is the quality sufficient? Minku nodded. It will suffice. Asterisk. Now we wait. Asterisk, he sent telepathically. Asterisk. The little dragon will open the way for us. Asterisk. As Lathan played the submissive servant, Du spoke with a trembling voice. There was a bounty. 1,000,000 shells for a dragonkin. I thought they were extinct for 500 years. Just a myth. Day exhaled, his voice thick with emotion. Who knew we'd actually witness a legend in the flesh? He twitched his ears, testing his new form. But can this blood truly help us reclaim the eggs? Du's shock turned into a murderous resolve. It must. I'll slaughter that red-skinned bastard myself to avenge my mother. He asked nervously, Are you certain he's still out there? Diaz's expression darkened as he thought of tracking Nietzsche. Little Luan said it. The monster has already moved on. Du probed for the giant's identity, but Luan remained clueless, only his towering stature stood out. A chilling theory emerged. What if the monster was still lurking deep within the walls? Impossible, Day snapped, trusting Luan's word as Minku's shadow crept toward the barrier. One hand brushed the cold surface while the other ignited with a terrifying surge of power. Luan watched, heart racing. Was this monster forging an entirely new path to freedom? Droplets of sweat betrayed his inner turmoil and growing suspicion. Then, a memory surfaced specialized gloves meant for the Red Tribe to trigger the mechanism. Luan realized the grim truth. Only those of red blood could wield such artifacts. But these gloves were fashioned from human skin. A macabre, bone-chilling realization struck. Suddenly, Lathan manifested behind them like a ghost in the shadows. "Time for the harvest," he smirked. The air turned frigid as his deceptive smile widened. Above the crowd, the mysterious eggs pulsed with an eerie, blinding radiance. The barrier warped into a rift. Was this truly the promised path to salvation? With a sinister snap of his fingers, Minku signaled the next phase of the plan. Strange spores erupted, darting toward the survivors. Forced into their mouths, Luan had no choice. The taste was bittersweet, almond masking the essence of something far more ancient. 2 obsidian orbs materialized, morphing into the twisted likeness of Minku himself. "Forward!" the order echoed. Southeast took the lead, knuckles white with suppressed dread. Finally, Luan whispered to the girl, "We leave this prison behind." He stepped into the abyss, the crowd following like sheep behind the floating black orbs. Inside, the scale was incomprehensible. Could this nightmare truly be the inner wall? "I can't sense the boundaries," Luan muttered, his warrior instincts screaming in the void. The black egg trembled in thought. This isn't a place of stone and mortar. It's a realm woven from the sparks of existence, a dimension without end. They marched through the stardust silence, leaving the quiet world of the living behind. Elsewhere, Long Eye emerged from the shadows, eyes cold and calculating. "The time has come." He eyed Minku's massive trunk. "What secrets are you hiding in that luggage, old friend?" "Just the fruits of my labor," Minku chuckled, patting the heavy metal casing. "Care to share?" Long Eye pressed, but Minku deftly pivoted, citing the king's urgency. Fury flared in Long E's eyes, but Vente quickly held him back. "Don't let curiosity kill us," Vente hissed. "The mission comes first." With a cold huff, the nobles entered. Minku lingered, whispering a warning to Lathan. "Wait for my return," he commanded. Lathan bowed, eyes mirroring a deeper sorrow. As the gate swirled shut, the last of the survivors vanished into the vortex. Suddenly, a massive shadow cut through the sky above Lathan, unrecognizable and terrifying. His jaw dropped in pure horror. What kind of nightmare had been unleashed? Within the rift, the rhythmic march continued, a symphony of footsteps in the dark. "Once these life eggs reset, it will take eons to birth a new world," they whispered. Their voices trailed off as the final gate loomed ahead, the threshold of their destiny. "This is it," Luan thought. "The end of the wall. The start of our freedom." Relief washed over him. Success was finally within their grasp. But as they stepped through, the air turned to ice. Minku's face twisted. "This is impossible," he roared. "Where is the outside world?" A voice boomed. "Welcome to the center of the iOS life manufacturing system." Minku's shock turned into a jagged grin. "Now, enjoy the banquet I've prepared." Long Eye's squad bolted through the gate. He roared in sudden fury. "What the hell is going on here?" Minku stammered, realizing they were forcibly dragged into the forbidden central domain. He unleashed his third eye with a chilling, predatory smirk. "I've invited you all to witness and suffer through this magnificent banquet of blood and slaughter." Cold sweat drenched his back, but Long Eye forced a jagged smile through his fear. "A banquet? Don't make me laugh." "Then die first." Long Eye lunged, but his lethal strike was violently repelled by an unseen force. His jaw dropped in shock as his own power recoiled. Rente screamed in terror. "Long Eye! Your wings! They're melting!" Despair seized him as he realized his majestic wings had vanished. A guttural scream of agony tore from his throat. Minku watched the pathetic display with sadistic glee. "The agony of your kind is truly a slow-burning masterpiece. But don't worry, your true executioners have yet to arrive. I'm just the host." His cryptic words hung in the air like a death sentence. "The real massacre begins in 15 minutes. Prepare yourselves." Tu Luan watched in silence. Minku's smile grew lethal. "This massacre isn't limited to this place. It's starting everywhere." They stood frozen. The realization hit them like a physical blow. They intended to wipe out every living soul in the life core. Seeing their shock, he shouted, "Don't just stand there. Use these 15 minutes wisely. Run, hide, or pray. The choice is yours." He supported Long Eye's broken body. Min-Ku, can you recreate the exit? He turned with a hollow, darkening expression. In front of the central domain's true monsters? Do you think that's even possible? Their spirits shattered at his words. Min-Ku chuckled, seemingly satisfied by their utter despair. You finally sharpened your wits, Min-Ku, they gasped. What? You actually know this monster? Silence was the only reply. He waved them off impatiently. Enough. I won't waste any more of your precious time. Make the most of your 15 minutes. I'll be watching the carnage from above. Farewell. With a flick of his wrist, Min-Ku vanished. Actually, you'll need to survive to see me again, won't you? He dissolved into the air, leaving only a haunting laugh. He shook with rage, cursing under his breath. Damn it! How did it come to this? Long Eye panicked. Min-Ku, talk to me. Have you been here before? No answer came. Only a cold warning. Fend for yourself. Consumed by fury, the noble gripped his fists until they bled. You! How dare you speak to me like that? Rente scanned the area. Forget him. We still have the gauntlets, don't we? We'll carve out our own exit. Long Eye turned to leave. You're right. Let's move. But Min-Ku remained rooted to the spot, unmoving. His subordinates scrambled to find a way out, fleeing in a desperate, chaotic surge. Even in his egg form, he spoke up. D, you saw it, didn't you? The red man who murdered your mother? D's eyes widened. What? Number 0, what are you saying? He pushed his theory. Tioluan lied to you. That red man was Long Eye. But Day refused to believe it. Don't you try to deceive me. You're just a fake, a mere copycat of Dongnam, aren't you? Du let out a mocking laugh. No wonder I felt such a strange distance between us on this journey. But you've got it all wrong. He finally revealed his secret. I am the parasite within the copy's mind. I am still 0. His jaw hit the floor. What? Are you saying Dongnam is nothing but a clone? Du nodded. He had suspected it long ago. Indeed. I've been hunting clones, intending to hijack their neural pathways. I'll use anyone connected to those copies. Meanwhile, Min-Kuan sprinted like a gale, refusing to let him out of sight. Let's cooperate. Suddenly, the black egg atop his head began to pulse with an eerie darkness. He cried out in panic. But silence followed. Tiu Non. What's happening? I can't move. Are we trapped? Answer me. Tiuluan stood like a frozen statue. The puppets were paralyzed as the egg glowed intensely, forcing Day back into his true form. Seeing him rush off, Du called out. Day. Why the sudden hurry? The target hasn't gone far yet. Day ignored him, his mind racing. He had to find Tiuluan and demand the truth once and for all. I need to know if everything was a lie. Seeing this, Du also reverted to his original state, his suspicion growing. Without a word, he dashed through the portal. On the other side, he bumped into 𝒂𝒏𝒌. Tiuluan, what's wrong? He looked at them, relieved yet frantic. Day. 𝒂𝒏𝒌. Tiunon isn't responding. What the hell is happening? The black egg began to recount the chilling sequence of events. Tiunon tried to steal the healing container from the clone, but before he could touch it, he completely froze up. Her face turned pale with dread. We can't just stand here talking. We need to get out of here now. Day scoops the boy up and sprints away. Behind the gate, his eyes regain their focus before he suddenly vanishes. He reaches the massive gateway and steps through into the unknown without a single moment of hesitation. Dien gazes at the empty wasteland. This ecosystem shifts every hour, looking nothing like the world they first entered. He tilts his head, voice laced with doubt. Are you sure? Thao Lok, can you track our location? It begins to explain. As long as young Master Longmin's corpse remains, I can find his position. He nods slowly, beginning to grasp the gravity of their current situation. We must find Longmin's body to reclaim our souls and escape this life egg. Thao Lok immediately begins searching. He follows as the scenery warps into a suffocating dark forest. The group huddles deep within a hollow tree. Day inspects Xiaoluan's body, his brow furrowing. The curse has vanished. So why is he still a hollow shell? The black egg mutters just loud enough for everyone to hear. I survived, so why is little Non still trapped? Suddenly, she lunges forward and grabs his wrist. He watches her suspiciously. Bone Queen, what are you doing? Ignoring him, she slices a deep wound into Xiaoluan's hand. Blood flows, yet the boy does not even flinch. He feels no pain. Enraged, De shoves Bone Queen away. You wretched woman! You dared to hurt him again! Bone Queen remains cold. This is an emergency. At this rate, his very life will be extinguished. Day's fury does not waver. That gives you no right to spill his blood like this. Watching from the shadows, he warns them. Day, now is not the time for rage. He grits his teeth. You fear he is a burden? Fine. I will take him. She frowns. A burden? I never said that. Fed up with the bickering, he roars. Enough! Is this the time to fight? Bone Queen stands tall, meeting his gaze. Listen well, D. If our lives are on the line, I will only look out for my own survival. He scoffs coldly. Suddenly, a worried warning cuts through. Movement outside! Stay silent! They all freeze in tension. The chilling sound of rattling iron chains echoes. A dark, cursed egg emerges, dragging a heavy casket behind it. That is the end of the video. If you enjoyed this, please hit like to support our work. Thank you and goodbye, everyone.